Philadelphia Eagles. So please go ahead and let us know what you guys are thinking.
Thomas Mott on our Eagles only channel. He will have more analysis of the selection by Philadelphia.
All right, y'all. So you want to talk about it because we just had a trade go down, and the Bears, they have traded up to number 11 with the New York Giants.
Boys.
This has got to be quarterback.
Oh, my goodness. Ryan Pace is on his 9th life in Chicago, and he might just get an extension. He might get an extension, boys. Ryan Pace – no, you know what would be peak Ryan? Peak Ryan Pace would be drafting Mac Jones right here.
Yeah.
Peak Ryan Pace would be drafting Mac Jones. Will they take Justin Fields like they should?
Who did the Bears trade up for?
The Giants. They're moving up to number 11.
No, I'm saying, who did they trade up for? Like, who's the player?
It's got to be
down in the
Justin
comments.
Fields.
It has to be, right?
Fields. Don't draft Mac Jones.
David Mills.
Dave Gettleman, for the first time ever, trading down.
For the first time ever, that's right.
Guys, this is ridiculous. Trade alert, the Giants trading down from number 11, which makes sense. Devonta Smith off the board.
Oh, yeah, I think now they can go edge rusher.
And now the Bears, who have a desperate general manager, a desperate head coach, maybe Matt Nagy finally gets his guy in Chicago. And, wow. This is
it's funny, though. We do all this planning at Chat Sports for this, and that, and then all of a sudden.
I've got trade details, by the way, and we'll get it on screen when we can. The Giants get number 20 this year. The Bears first next year as well. A 5th this year and a 4th next year.
Wow.
That is the trade compensation. So really just an extra first. I mean, a 4th and a 5th, okay, who cares, right?
So you swap.
Schefter has the trade details.
So you swap firsts, you get next year's first, a 5th this year, and then a 4th next year. I mean,
I'm fine with this. For Justin Fields, extra
it's got to be Fields. We don't know if it's Fields yet.
If it's Mac Jones, I'm walking off the set. If it's Kellen Mond, I'm quitting this job.
Okay. I can't do it anymore.
There's no way it could be Kellen Mond.
All right, so go down.
Fields.
Come on, let us know in the comments. Who do y'all think it's going to be? Who did the Chicago Bears trade up for? If you think it's going to be Mac Jones, type MJ. Justin Fields, JF. If you think I see a whole bunch of people saying Kellen Mond. Wild.
This is unreal. We'll wait and see what the official what the pick is here. But man, it's got to be Justin Fields. Is this the redemption story for Ryan Pace? Because what Ryan Pace, and let's go full screen here, Sam. What Ryan Pace has done in his history of the Bears general manager. He paid Mike Glennon $45 million.
Yep, not great.
He traded up for Mitchell Trubisky when he didn't have to, with Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes available to draft. He traded a 4th rounder for Nick Foles. And now this is his 4th chance. 4th chance. How many GMs miss on 3 quarterbacks and get a 4th one?
Plus the ones you missed on.
He's going to get another opportunity here if he selects Justin Fields. This is the time for Bears fans, for Ryan Pace. The Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of their franchise. The only team in the NFL. No other team has ever been this bad at quarterback, and now they can finally get their guy if they take Justin Fields. Please, Ryan Pace. The Bears gods are watching. Just get Justin Fields. Don't overthink it. Don't take Mac Jones. The pick is so obvious. Get the Ohio State quarterback at number 11 overall, and we're being told that the pick is in.
The Chicago Bears traded up with the New York Giants and have selected Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State, 11th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. Harrison Graham, host of our Bears channel, take it away.
They actually did it. This actually happened. Justin Fields falls outside of the top 10, and Ryan Pace pulls the trigger. Pace, I'll tell you what, if this doesn't work out, if he's a bust, you won't hear a peep out of me. You can't dig this move. Oh. This is an excellent move for Chicago. You go up and get our number 2 ranked quarterback, according to Tom Downey, our draft expert, 2A, 2B with Zach Wilson, however you view it. A guy who has outdueled Trevor Lawrence on the biggest stage. Justin Fields is an excellent draft prospect. He falls to number 11 overall, and the Chicago Bears go get him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Mitch, as we're now seeing some trades go down in the NFL draft. As you can tell, I am absolutely psyched about this draft pick.
And, I mean, when you talk about Justin Fields, he's going to have I think if Allen Robinson can figure out a way to stay there, which I believe that's going to be the goal here, he's going to have a lot of tough competition. But if the rumors around Aaron Rodgers are potentially true, where, guess what, he decides to move on, that division gets a whole lot easier. So for the Bears, you had to get a little bit ballsy. You had to take some risks. And that's exactly what they did.
I would have done this at 6. And they pulled it off at 11.
At 11, it's good value.
You only give up an extra first rounder. So the trade comp, by the way, if you're just seeing this for the first time, is you move from 20 to 11, or the Giants get 20 as they fall down from number 11, an extra first next year, a fourth next year from the Bears, and a fifth this year. That's good value for Chicago.
Great value.
To get Justin Fields?
Yeah.
This is a home run. If Justin Fields is a bust, you won't hear a complaint from me. This is a calculated trade from Ryan Pace. This is not Mitch Trubisky when no one was going to trade up for him at number 2. Yep. This is a guy who fell in the draft for whatever reason. This is great value. By far the best pick of the first round, in my opinion, is Justin Fields. Goes number 11 to the Chicago Bears, a team desperate for a franchise quarterback, as they've never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of their franchise.
So here are the trade details that went down for Chicago to trade up from 20 to number 11 with the New York Giants. The Bears, they get pick 11, which ended up turning out to be Justin Fields. The New York Giants get the number 20th overall pick this year. The Bears' first-round pick next year, a fifth-round pick this year, and then a 2022 fourth-round pick. So the question we're going to ask, it is this, and it is pretty simple. Was Fields worth the trade-up? Yes or no? Was it worth it?
Yes! Anyone saying no is a Lions fan. That's what I'm deciding here. Anyone saying no is a Lions fan. This is the move of the day.
Yeah.
The Bears have grabbed the headlines of this NFL draft to go up and get Justin Fields. Forget San Francisco and Trey Lance. That was an hour ago. We're done with that. Justin Fields, the story of the night as Chicago moves up from number 20 to number 11 overall. Who cares? Who cares? We'll see where Mac Jones ends up going, but he could slide a little bit now. I love this move from the Bears. He was fantastic. And those stats, by the way, only 7 games, I believe, Ohio State played in an extremely shortened season. He's efficient. He throws a good deep ball. He's mobile. And he's a gamer. This guy's played in the biggest games you can in college football. I'm ecstatic about Justin Fields to the Chicago Bears. And let us know, is this the pick of the night?
I mean,
it is.
It might be.
Especially with the trade value.
It's definitely going to make the most headlines. I mean, obviously Trey Lance is going to be a big-time pick, but I think it's between Trey Lance and I really think it's between somebody like a guy like Justin Fields. So pretty interesting overall. So let us know down in the comments, was this the best pick of the night so far?
We're going to get some shout-outs here. I'll let Mitch take leads on those in just a second. And by the way, after we get a few shout-outs here, I'm going live on our Bears channel. I'm going solo live. So if you're a diehard Bears fan, join me on Chicago Bears Now. It's youtube.com/Bears Now. youtube.com/Bears Now. We'll get that link on the screen there. That's where I'm going to go live in just a second. Mitch, go ahead and get some shout-outs here.
All right, y'all. So we got some people watching here. We got Dilly. He's saying yes. Manny Villegas is going to go yes. Eric Rodriguez says who? Donnie Myers, yes. I mean, we haven't seen a single no yet. Also, shout out to Level 2 Pin for the $20 super chat. Appreciate the super that just came in. Ty Purvis said, Google Young King 95 to listen to my episodes. I got you here. And Harrison, you're going to go take off.
I'll see you later. I'm going to go celebrate.
Well, Harrison just called off. All right, so it's just going to be me here for a little bit. We're going to have Chase Sr. He's going to be joining us in just a little bit. I also want to give a shout out to NFL Trash Talk 2021. But this also means that the Dallas Cowboys, they are back here on the clock. 4 minutes left to pick. What I do think we need to do, though, Sam, is we've had a few super chats come through. I just want to give a few shout-outs here to some of the people that are watching. If you throw in a $30 super, we will promote you. The 230s that we've had come in, Ty Purvis, and then NFL Trash Talk 2021. We appreciate the supers that you've sent in. Also, here's the first one, Ty Purvis, if you guys could. Google Young King 95 to listen to my episodes. So if you guys want to go listen to Ty Purvis, we got 26,000 people watching. Shout out to NFL Trash Talk 2021. Take a screenshot, tag me at MitchellRents365. We'd appreciate that a lot. We also had a $50 super chat come in from Kaiser that said, Harrison, you deserve the beer bong. Here's the issue. Harrison is no longer on the show, but I will tell you this. If we want, I'll take the beer bong. Or you know what? You want me to just do it? He could probably do the beer bong on Bears Now. I think that's actually a good idea. So, Kazar, go over to the Bears Now stream. Check it out. He's going to be breaking down the pick that just happened. So, we were going to let him go do the beer bong over there on that show. But also, and then another one from Lowville Toppin. It said, pick up pals at the Apple Store and Google Play Store, connecting you to casual and competitive pickup games in your area. So, Lavelle, appreciate pickup pals on the Apple Store. Somebody go support. So what we just did there was we're just trying to get back a little bit and just trying to say, like, hey, we appreciate you guys watching. We know there's a lot of companies out there, and if you want to advertise on here, it's not really easy to advertise in front of 26,000 people. So a $30 Super Chat, you can do that. $35 Super Chat will do 2 roulette wheel spins, which is essentially like either Jason and I or whoever here at Chat Sports going to be doing some wild stuff. $50 Super Chat is a beer bong, so if you want Chase or I, probably going to be him because he's a little bit better at it than me. He's going to be the one that ends up doing it. But we got 25,000 people, 12,000 likes on this bad boy right now. If you've been entertained, if you like what you've seen so far, please go ahead and let us know down there in the comments section if you're having a good time or not. So let us know, and I do want to welcome in my man, Chase Sr. How you doing, dude?
Is phenomenal because you never know what's going to happen, and sometimes shit just hits the fan out of nowhere, and that's what's happened the last couple of picks.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock, and actually we have word that the pick is in. So the reason why that they decided to trade down, I really think, is because Jaycee Horn wasn't. But I'll tell you what, I'm curious to see what the Dallas Cowboys end up doing here on today's in this 2021 NFL Live draft. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of really good players on the board right now. So I think they might go defense, and I know Tom Downey would just be, just go nuts if they went Micah Parsons. But I actually think Micah Parsons is the best defender in the draft. So I think if they go linebacker, I think that'd be a great selection because you're bringing in a player who can be a, perennial Pro Bowler. So I like that, but also you can't go wrong offensive line either. Rashawn Slater, Alijah Vera-Tucker is ready to play right away. So I think they can't go wrong at this spot, and I think that's why they traded back, because they knew they could get great value.
Yeah. So who do y'all think the Dallas Cowboys are going to pick here at number 12 overall? Please go ahead and let us know down there in the comments section. There's a few different draft needs here that Dallas potentially has, but I am curious to see what they did. They were able to trade back with the Philadelphia Eagles originally at number 10, went back to number 12, also picked up pick number 84, which is actually pretty surprising considering the fact that, it doesn't happen all too often, at least teams inside the division. So the pick, it is in the Dallas Cowboys. Who are they going to end up taking? Let us know down there in the comments. I'm seeing a lot of Slaters. Seeing some Micah Parsons as well. Seeing a Mac Jones. It's not going to be Mac Jones. I'd be very surprised if it was. We got Justin Fields. He already went, my man. So the pick is in for the Dallas Cowboys. With the number 12 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys have selected linebacker Micah Parsons from Penn State. Chase, you and I both are from the Penn State area. Yep. We also absolutely love the talent that this guy is going to be able to bring to Dallas. What type of player are the Cowboys getting in Micah Parsons?
Well, I think the Cowboys traded back and got the best defender in the 2021 NFL Draft. I've been able to watch this guy live, and he is an absolute game.
Holy shit, whatever cuss word you can come up with, the freaking Bears did it. They drafted Justin Fields, number 11 overall. Can you guys believe it? A lot of you guys were probably watching me on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, but Justin Bear. Wow. I did not see this coming from Justin Fields. I'm being told the audio is a little questionable. We'll get into this as soon as we'll get the audio better as soon as we can here. But Justin Fields is the newest member of the Chicago Bears. Type me in the comments if you're fired up. We'll get some shout-outs here, then we'll try and do some deeper analysis here on Chicago Bears Now. Alan Max has told you, pal, let's get drunk from the army, the array money. Big V says, let's go. Type me in the chat if you are fired up about this pick here. Let's see here. Someone says should have stayed and drafted an OT. Are you kidding me? Come on, how can you not be fired up? You still have your second round pick. Take a tackle in the second round. No big deal whatsoever, as we're going to fix our audio issues here shortly. We are fired up about this pick of Justin Fields overall. Type me if you're as excited as I am. Roland says, I love the pick. Chicago says me. Dennis says me. We'll dive into some analysis here, what this means for Fields, what this means for Andy Dalton, what this means for Ryan Pace, who's trying to pull off one of the great comebacks for a GM that we've ever seen. Curtis says me. Riley says me. CC Light says me.
By the way, I'm seeing a couple super chats. Duke with the $50 super. Bears just made the pick of the draft. I appreciate you. We'll try to show as many supers as we can. Here's what I can guarantee. I will shout out everybody who sends in a super chat. So we appreciate that. By the way, $50 super, that might have to be a challenge that I end up doing. I may have to take a shot for that one at some point. So we will try and make that happen for you guys. But Justin Fields, I mean, guys, this is the move of the draft. Duke nailed it. This is the move of the draft. Appreciate the super from Chris saying, let's go Fields. Well, they did. They went Justin Fields. I'm sweating bullets because I'm fired up about this pick for the Chicago Bears.
Well, you'll
right
find
now.
in the room.
Type me in the
And
comments
really,
if you're
what
as
was one of the
excited about this as I am. I'll continue to get some shout-outs here. Gamer says, finally got a quarterback. Stewart says me. Q says me. Q Carrito says me. Let's see here. I hope he starts from David. That's something we'll certainly explore, especially later on as we get closer and closer to camp. But I'm just celebrating, guys. They did it. Ryan Pace pulled the trigger on a trade for Justin Fields. This is absolutely fantastic. I could not be more fired up about this than I am right now because I did not see Justin Fields falling this far. I told you guys on our main channel, if you're watching over there on Chat Sports, I would have traded up to number 6 for Fields. They get him at 11? We'll try and get the trade details for you guys later on when we can. But my goodness, I'll verbally tell you guys what the trade details were. The Bears gave up number 20 overall. Here you go. Shout out producer Brett. He's got 20 things going on right now. We're live on like 4 channels at Chat Sports. They moved from the Giants get 20 this year. The Bears first round pick next year, a 5th this year, and a 4th next year. Guys, that's not bad. You basically give up 1 extra first round pick and a couple of day 3 picks. Who cares? That's a great deal for Chicago. That is absolutely fantastic to go get arguably the second quarterback in this draft. Neck and neck with Zach Wilson. I called them 2A and 2B just in the last week or so when we were breaking this all down on the possibility of getting Justin Fields to Chicago. But you get one of the top guys in the draft, and it's just terrific. So I'm fired up about this. I'm feeling great about this, and you guys should be too. Get a couple more shout-outs here. Type me if you're as fired up about this as I am. Someone says sell Dalton. Honestly, guys, if you want to explore that a little bit, it's possible Dalton's your week 1 starter. Don't panic if that happens. They're not going to rush Fields into play just because they drafted him here. Doesn't mean he won't start. Doesn't mean he won't, but I'll tell you what, he is the franchise quarterback of the future. There is no doubt about that. Get those me's flowing. Type me in the comments. Also, let me know who won the trade. Got to be Chicago, right? Go get Justin Fields, only give up an extra first. I'm loving this trade from Ryan Pace. And let me make this clear, and I've been one of the biggest guys who's ripped Pace in the past because I thought he deserved it, and I still think he does. That being said, if Justin Fields does not work out for Chicago, you won't hear a peep out of me. I'll say, you know what? They got good value on who was probably the second best quarterback in that trade, in that draft, and it didn't work out. I won't blame Pace for this. Trubisky one was stupid because you could have just drafted Deshaun Watson. You didn't, even if you wanted Mitch, you didn't have to trade up for him. He's paid Mike Glennon in the past. He traded for Nick Foles. Those were all questionable / bad moves. But this one, on paper, this is a home run move. It may not work out. I think it's going to. I think the Bears finally have their franchise quarterback who they've been starving for literally the entirety of their franchise. Have never had a 4,000-yard passer in the history of the Chicago Bears, and I think Fields becomes that guy at some point. But again, I will not blame Pace if this doesn't work out. This is a move with conviction. They let the draft come to them. Fields slid a little bit, and they got their guy. You got to be fired up. You have to be fired up if you are a fan of the Bears here. Alan says, huge home run win. I totally agree. This is an A-plus move from Ryan Pace. I would argue on paper this is the best move he's made as a GM, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I have ripped this guy for his inability to evaluate quarterback talent. Hey, I've said all offseason, the Bears, Matt Nagy needs to have more input on who they draft here. And I think that ended up being the case with this year's pick for Justin Fields to Chicago. We're going to break this all down. Are we ready to rock here, Brett, to go into further detail here? Stay tuned. We're going to talk a lot more about Justin Fields to Chicago. Alert! It's draft night. The Chicago Bears have traded up to the number 11 pick to select Justin Fields, quarterback out of Ohio State. The biggest move of the night here in round 1 of the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. If you've never seen this channel before, hit that subscribe button because we break down all things Chicago Bears. But Justin Fields is the selection at number 11 overall. And later in the video, we'll kind of break down how this happened, who some of the picks were before Justin Fields. But let's talk about the prospect himself. Arguably the number 2 quarterback prospect in this draft class. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, he was the easiest home run pick of the class. But we should acknowledge Justin Fields outdueled Trevor Lawrence in the college football playoff this year. Not even close. He was the best player on that night when Ohio State drubbed Clemson. I think Trevor Lawrence would even acknowledge that. He's got the size, 6'2", 227 pounds there. Tom Downey, our NFL draft analyst at Chat Sports, he had Fields as his number 4 overall player, as his number 2 quarterback here. And for whatever reason, in the final weeks and months leading up to the draft, Justin Fields started to slide. I don't know where this came from. I know the whole, he's got epilepsy, but it's never been a problem during his football career. He's had family members who have had it and who have outgrown it. I'm not concerned about that here. But he ends up being the 4th quarterback off the board behind Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance. And you get Justin Fields at number 11 overall. Here are the trade details here. As the Bears move up from 20 to 11, the Giants pick up number 20 overall, a first-round pick next year, a 5th this year, and a 4th next year. Guys, that's not that bad. That is not that bad to basically only give up an extra first for Justin Fields. You keep your 2nd-round pick. You can go draft an offensive tackle. You have your 3rd-round pick. Go get a slot receiver. Get a cornerback. The Bears can still get done what they need to accomplish in this draft. Home run trade, home run move for Ryan Pace, who we'll give some credit to even more in just a few moments. If you are fired up about the Justin Fields pick as much as I am, I want you to type me in the comments. I want to see you type me more than once. Just spam it in the comment section. How can you not be fired up about Justin Fields to the Chicago Bears? Go ahead and let me know by typing me if you're fired up. So we talk more about the pick here again. The 4th quarterback off the board. He goes number 11 overall. Size, arm strength. He checks all the physical boxes. Again, 6'2", 225. He throws a beautiful deep ball. He's got that kind of rainbow Russell Wilson deep ball where he just drops it in the bucket. He's really good at that. He's a big play quarterback. What does that mean? That means that at times he could probably just take the easy check down, but he's looking to make the bigger play. Those decision-making types of things, he'll grow into those as he moves forward. I'm okay with my quarterback being a risk taker at times. You don't think Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City is a risk taker? He doesn't check down the ball a lot because he's looking for the big play. Now, you got to find that balance. You got to hit the underneath route and take the 6-yard slant when it's there. But Justin Fields, he challenges defensive backs downfield. He trusts what he sees. This is a big play quarterback and a big game quarterback who only lost 2 games in his entire college career at Ohio State. This guy is a big-time football player, and I'm so excited for the Bears, and you Bears fans deserve it. Especially you guys who have been watching this team for decades now, have never seen a competent quarterback under center for Chicago. You got one now, in my opinion, in Justin Fields. Real quick, shout out to Duke for the super chat. Bears just made the move in the pick of the draft. I totally agree with that. If you super chat, we'll shout you guys out on the show. Appreciate you, Duke, on that one. Real quick here, that guy in purple also. Bear the hell down. Hey, bear down, baby. Get it in the comment section. Bear down if you are fired up for this pick by Chicago. Are you kidding me? Type bear down in the comment section because I am so fired up right now. You guys wouldn't believe it. I'm down to talk this thing out with you guys for a while when it comes to Justin Fields. And this is why you subscribe. A lot of you guys have probably never stumbled across our channel before, because when big news like this happens, we see new fans stumble across this on YouTube and say, hey, what's this guy all about? You know what we're all about here at Chicago Bears Now? Daily Bears videos, the latest news, rumors. We've been pumping out draft content leading up to the NFL draft, and we're live on YouTube right now breaking down the Justin Fields pick. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Share that link with a friend, but you're watching right now. Little subscribe button. It's free. Click it. More Bears coverage after the draft. We're not one of those channels that just pops up during the draft or when big things happen. We're interactive. We have fun with you guys. Oh, and by the way, live shows every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So let's just kind of break down, okay, how did Justin Fields fall to number 11 overall? Well, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, no shock there. The 49ers held the key to this draft in a lot of ways. They went Trey Lance, number 3, and I think that was a big deal for Chicago. Here's why. A, I think Atlanta would have taken Trey Lance at 4 had the 49ers selected Mac Jones. What does that mean? One less quarterback would have been available. Sure, Fields still would have been out there, but a team may have traded up earlier to like number 5, number 6, and we saw Jamar Chase go number 5 to the Cincinnati Bengals. We saw Jaylen Waddle go number 6 to the Miami Dolphins, as we can push those across here. Penei, Sewell, and Jaycee Horn. So you're getting into that 6 through 8 range. I'm like, hey, go trade for him, trade for him. Ryan Pace stayed patient, Matt Nagy stayed patient, and Justin Fields, he ends up falling into your lap at number 11 overall after Horn goes 8, I believe Surtain went 9, and then Devonta Smith in a trade up by Philadelphia ended up going number 10 overall before the Bears pulled the trigger on a trade and traded for Justin Fields. That is letting the draft come to you. Ryan Pace panicked when he traded for Mitch Trubisky. It was a flat-out panic. He moved up one spot, gave up multiple draft picks to do it, and didn't even take the best quarterback in this class. Patient approach this time around. Bang for your buck, Justin Fields outside the top 10. Are you kidding me? And you only give up an extra first, basically? A couple of day 3 picks? Who cares? Justin Fields might be your guy for the next 15 years. This is such a great pick for Ryan Pace and the Bears. I salute Ryan Pace big time. Answer this question for me. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Did the Bears make the right pick? And then we're going to talk about Ryan Pace. We'll go full screen on that. Did the Bears make the right pick of Justin Fields? If you're typing N, I'm convinced you're a Packers fan. Get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. And I want to talk about Ryan Pace because I pride myself in being objective. I pride myself in giving credit where it's due and ripping a guy where it's due. Ryan Pace has made some bad quarterback moves, okay? He gave Mike Glennon $45 million. He traded up for Mitch Trubisky in a draft that had Deshaun Watson and even Patrick Mahomes, but leave Mahomes out of it. You could have had Watson. He traded a 4th-round pick for Nick Foles, who was washed at that point. I thought he should have been fired after this past year. You can't evaluate quarterbacks. You can't be a GM in the NFL. Maybe Nagy had more influence on this pick. We'll see as more information comes out. But you know what? Bravo, Ryan Pace. Kudos to you. This is the best move on paper he has made since he's been the general manager of the Chicago Bears. And you know what? I'm saying this right now on the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft on draft night, April 29th. If this pick doesn't work out, if we look back in 3 years and Justin Fields ends up being a bust, you won't hear a peep from me. I'll say, you know what? At the time, that was a great move. No one's going to question that move. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. Nothing's a guarantee in the NFL, especially at quarterback. But you know what? Justin Fields is a really, really good prospect, and you got to be fired up about this if you're Bears fans. And I'm telling you right now, Ryan Pace, good for you. Doesn't mean your tenure in Chicago will end up being, a 25-year GM, but you know what? I'm giving you props where props are due. You deserve credit for pulling the trigger on a Justin Fields trade. So we're going to remain live here in Chicago Bears Now, and here's the deal. We'll talk about the draft, see what picks come in here, and if you guys send in some super chats, that's a better chance for me to stay live longer because Chicago Bears Now is one of our many channels here at Chat Sports, so we have a lot going on in the office. This is studio number 3 here, and as things happen, I'm needed elsewhere. So if you guys super chat, we'll stay alive longer. So I'm just going to give you a heads up on that one, and producer Brett will pull up the super chat menu at some point. But the picks since the Bears, Micah Parsons went 12 to Dallas. Shout out the Cowboys. Just an awful pick in my opinion. Rashawn Slater, number 13 to the LA Chargers. Like that pick. And then Alijah Vera-Tucker as the Jets trade up. Interesting there. He goes number 14. And for you Bears fans, obviously this is Chicago Bears now. Now, the next logical move is you start thinking round 2, right? Like, so the Bears still have their second and third round picks. That's what I love about this Fields trade up even more. You kept your day 2 picks. So you're starting to think, okay, who can the Bears get in day 2? I'd still like to get a tackle. I'd like to get a receiver maybe. Cornerback is certainly an option, but we'll worry more about that when we get there. We're celebrating Justin Fields tonight, and if you want to celebrate with us, you guys can super chat. I know we have a super chat menu that we will show you guys in just a minute. Producer Brett's got 10 things going on. I think it's a list 4 or 5 logo, Brett. I'm not sure, but we'll get to that when we get a sec. But continue to grade the pick for me in just a moment. A, B, C, D, or F. These are our super chat specials. $1 super, we'll shout you out. $5, beers cheers. What are you guys drinking? I might need something harder than Coors Light. Not a sponsor. Later on in the night after this Justin Fields move. Roulette wheel, basically, you know, that may not happen, so we'll cheers you twice. Clout shout out, what does that mean for $15 super chat? If you want to promote your Instagram, your YouTube channel, your Twitter, whatever it is, we'll put it on screen. We'll pimp you out. We'll try and get it in the live chat. And then $25. We'll take some shots, baby. I told you I need something harder than beer here. So those are your super chat menu items. Shout out to Call It Comedy, $2 super. We'll try and get them all on screen. We can't guarantee that, but we'll try and get to as many of them as we can. Oh, our resident Lions fans. Fields fell for a reason. Well, maybe Detroit should have taken him, Don Burr. You've been talking that smack for weeks. Call It Comedy. TBH, this was Nagy and Don Burr. Go to the Lions page. Hey, we have a Lions channel at Chat Sports. Go check it out, Don. I would like to think Nagy had input here because I know his evaluation of quarterbacks. He nailed the 2017 evaluations. Appreciate your guys' super chats. Even if, you Lions fans want a super, we'll go ahead and get to those when we can. Call It Comedy. Finally, we have our franchise quarterback. You're damn straight. Justin Fields, I think, has a very, very good chance to be a special player in the National Football League. One more super coming in. Cross DJ Jordan, Bears fan since '69. Second best pick in my lifetime. That says it all, doesn't it? This is a team starving for quarterbacks. You've been a Bears fan for 50 years. You've been waiting for this, man. You deserve this. You long-time guys, you older Bears fans, this pick's for you. You guys deserve this because the amount of brutal quarterback play you guys have had to endure. I'm only 26. I'm a young guy. I haven't witnessed the 70s and the 80s and all that stuff when Bears couldn't find a quarterback. I think they found one now. Maybe it won't pan out, but I'm feeling pretty good about Justin Fields overall. A couple more supers coming in. Appreciate you guys. The prospect himself, as we're going to work in some analysis, obviously, of the pick. We'll speculate on who starts next year. Maybe we can get that weigh-in built at some point, that question built, Dalton versus Fields. But Justin Fields this past year, you know what I like about him too? The Big Ten was not going to play football last year. They voted against playing, and Justin Fields led the charge to get the Big Ten back to playing football. Fields led the charge. And what was it, James? The We Want to Play movement. Justin Fields was a big part of that. Rallied the Big Ten to get back together. Led Ohio State to the national championship game. So this is not a guy that can just get it done on the field. This is an intangible guy. He's a good kid. He has all the attributes on and off the field that you're looking for. This is a franchise quarterback on paper. And he's got all the physical tools too, guys. This is a face of the franchise. And as soon as, by the way, as soon as we're available, maybe not tonight, but at some point in the future, we'll get our jersey hookup going, and you guys can start buying the Justin Fields jerseys because I'm starting to think that's going to be a big-time seller for the Chicago Bears. But for you guys just joining us, Justin Fields, the pick at number 11 overall, as the Bears and Ryan Pace trade up. He's got the physical tools. By the way, he ran a 4.46 in the 40 at his pro day. Are you kidding me? And he's not a run-first quarterback. Let's not get that twisted. A couple super chats here. Call It Comedy. Everyone send $2 at least and say bear down. Hey, you guys keep super chatting. We'll celebrate. We'll drink some beers. We'll have a good time here on Bears Now. Let me see a couple more here. Max Zumpano wants to know if the Bears are contenders. Absolutely. I mean, we'll see what happens this year. Long term, they're definitely contenders now. You get a franchise quarterback. I'll be curious to see what the approach is with Andy Dalton. You don't want to just throw Fields into the fire, but if he's clearly the better option, you play it. I mean, it's just as simple as that. You feel for a vet like Andy Dalton, but he's had his time. He was a starter for a decade for the Cincinnati Bengals. He'll be a good mentor for a guy like Fields. I truly think he will be, and maybe he's the week 1 starter, but Fields long term, and probably at some point this season, he will be the guy at quarterback for the Chicago Bears, as Justin Fields is the pick at number 11 overall. We can rip off some of these super chats here, Jeremy, as we've swapped producers here. Kaiser42, you owe me a beer bong, $5 super on that one. Can we get the beer bong? I'm being told I owe these guys one. We'll try and get to that in a minute. Bear forever. Beware Don Burr. Fields coming to crush your soul. Go Bears. Don Bear, our resident Lions fan, he's having a hard night here tonight. But I do like the pick for Penei Sewell, so good for Detroit, I guess. Jesse Padilla, I'll be fired up when we find out what we gave up to get him. Some of these are older super chats, I believe. We've got the trade graphic, Jeremy, if you want to show what the trade compensation was. We'll get to that after this super chat. Everyday Barbecue, Bears fan, fellow YouTuber and barbecue enthusiast here. Thanks for the good content. Hey, we appreciate you guys. This is why you subscribe to Chicago Bears Now. Hit that big red button and subscribe. I'll pump it up in the chat as well. Go ahead and subscribe because we're pumping out videos every single day. I think we have a subscribe weigh-in as well, Jeremy. But here was the trade package. If for some of you guys who missed it, the Bears moved up from number 20 to number 11. They gave up a first next year, which, hey, you're going to give that up when you move up almost 10 selections. A fifth this year and a fourth next year. Guys, that's not that much. 2 day 3 picks, an extra first. Extra first, sure, that's decent. But 2 day 3 picks on top of that, those are just throw-ins. That's not bad at all. Kudos, Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy. This is a great move. And it gives this franchise hope at quarterback, which it hadn't had in quite a while. Subscribe to Chicago Bears Now because we have daily Bears videos. We don't just cover the NFL draft. If you're stumbling onto this channel for the first time, we keep you guys up to date with the latest Bears news, rumors. Obviously, when they draft Justin Fields, we're going live. Weekly live shows on Tuesdays, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Subscribe by hitting the big red button. Share that link with a friend. YouTube.com/BearsNow. And hey, share that link below. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Max Zumpano, are the Bears contenders? Man, they're not that far away. If Fields can, I don't know if he's ready to just ball out as a rookie, but if he can, you got Allen Robinson. You got Darnell Mooney, which, by the way, I need to scour Allen Robinson's Twitter and see how he's feeling about this. You got David Montgomery at running back. You need to draft a tackle, which I think the Bears will do on day 2. And you probably need to draft a cornerback in round 2 or 3. Other than that, this defense is in good shape. The offense has enough firepower. This Bears team's in good shape, folks. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Call it comedy. Everyone send $2 at least and say bear down. Bear down in the chat. Let's hear it right now. Bear down. I will get some shout outs at some point, but let's type bear down right now in the comments. All right, Robert Butler Jr. Have a shot with me. Months ago I told you Justin Fields will play for the Bears. Hey, $25 super. I need a shot of Fireball. Let's make it happen. We'll get to that beer bong when we can, but let's prioritize the Fireball here. As we got James behind the scenes. Jack, one of these guys is going to get it for us. Appreciate that, Robert, on that one. That guy in purple, what do you think Foles' future is now? Who cares about Nick Foles? He can go. I'm being told to check stuff down below. Super chat here. We got another one. Duke, stay with the Bears fans. This is a big night. Hey, $50 super. We'll stay alive longer. More supers equals we'll stay alive, baby. We just crossed $200 in super chat. I think we have a lower third for that. $2 in super chats equals a beer chug. All right, full screen. I gotta chug this beer as we're getting a shot ready. Oh baby, we're gonna go full Bet DSI cup. We'll get a shot's worth in there. I gotta chug this beer. Put the L3 up, Jeremy, of $200 super equals a beer chug. It should be in there.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and get that in there. Appreciate you guys. $200. Every $50 or so is a new milestone, so appreciate it. There we go. We slammed that. We'll take this shot for you guys. Appreciate executive producer Jack for getting the liquor here. Got a little more. Got the fireball. We're out of shot glasses because we're live on like 4 channels, so cheers. Woo! I'm ready to go, boys. Keep sending in super chats. We'll stay alive. We'll have some fun. We'll celebrate Justin Fields. Why wouldn't we? I mean, this is the biggest move the Bears have made. I mean, it's the biggest, like, headline move since Trubisky, but this one is actually one you can feel really good about. Not that you guys didn't feel good about when they drafted Mitch, but this one's such a home run for so many reasons. For a lot of the reasons I've said, and if you're just joining us, he's got the physical tools. He's got the intangibles. He's the number 2 rated quarterback on our board behind Trevor Lawrence. Justin Fields is everything you want in a quarterback prospect. He's fantastic. There's literally no downside to Justin Fields, to Chicago, and we're celebrating it here on Chicago Bears. Now, looks like we got another $2 super chat. Try and get to that in just a moment here. How about this, Jeremy? Let's see, have any more picks come in on the draft? Let's see what else is going on in the NFL draft. We want to keep you guys up to date with what's happening in the draft as well. Obviously, we're going to keep it Bears-centric. You guys get your questions in by using #Bears, and we'll try to answer some of those as well. Mark says, "Bear down, please." Hey, we're doing it. We're doing it. Do we have the tracker like the four guys at once, Jeremy? We'll show it in that way. After Justin Fields, Micah Parsons was the pick to the Dallas Cowboys. At number 12 overall. I believe Rashawn Slater was the pick at number 13. And Alijah Vera-Tucker was the pick at 14. And, hey, there goes the 5th quarterback. Mac Jones, number 15 overall to New England. So they stay at home at 15, and they get their quarterback in Mac Jones. So interesting. Interesting the way this draft is starting to pan out. We're basically halfway through the first round, and the good news for the Bears is they keep their 2nd and 3rd round pick. Mark, bear down, please. You bet. Call it comedy. Just sent one in as well. Any chance the Bears trade Dalton or Foles for picks? I don't know what Foles would get you. Maybe like a conditional 6th or something like that. Maybe a 7th. You know, he makes $5-6 million for a 3rd-string quarterback now. That's pretty steep. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to flip Dalton after signing him 2 months ago. They'll keep one of those guys and either cut or trade the other. Probably keep Dalton, I would guess. Ace Reyes, when can we see him play or start games? The preseason's going to be lit, number 1. We'll see him in the preseason this year. Remember, no preseason last year, so we'll get to see it this year. We'll see as far as the regular season goes. When Justin Fields ends up being the quarterback for the Bears. Is it week 1? I'd say it's 50-50. I could easily see Andy Dalton being the week 1 starter, and if he is, that's okay. Don't panic. Don't rep the staff for that. You want to play Justin Fields when he's ready. If he's ready week 1, start him. If he's ready week 6, start him week 6. If you want to Patrick Mahomes him and sit him this entire year and he takes over in 2022, you can do that as well. Do what's best for his long-term future. Don't panic and play him this year. It'll be interesting to see if they sit Fields all this year and the Bears go like 7-10 or something with Andy Dalton. Is Pace and Nagy safe? I would argue they probably are after this pick. I think they're probably safe for at least an extra year after going up and getting Justin Fields. And this regime is one I've been critical of, especially Ryan Pace. But to pull off this trade for this value, you can't really ask for more. You can't really ask for more to only give up an extra first-round pick and go get Justin Fields. It's absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely terrific. You give up a 5th and a 4th as well, but who cares? A couple of day 3 picks, and you keep your day 2 picks this year. You still have your 2nd-round pick. You still have your 3rd-round pick. It's awesome. Zaven Collins off the board. He goes to Arizona, a player that's been linked to the Cardinals, so they add the linebacker out of Tulsa. We are officially halfway through round 1 of the NFL draft. Let's remind you guys of the Super Chat specials we've got going. Jeremy, that List 5 logo is where that would be. If you guys super chat, we'll stay live. If not, we will do whatever. So Zaven Collins going to Arizona. $1 super chat is a shout out. $5 super chat is a beers cheers. $10 super is a roulette wheel. $15 is a shout out. So ignore the roulette wheel. We'll just give you a clout shout out. The roulette wheel's on our main channel right now. We just have too many streams going on. $15 super basically means that, and we'll lump you $10 ones in as well. If you send in $10 or more, you can plug your Twitter, you can plug your Instagram, plug your YouTube channel. We'll put it on screen. I'll shout it out for you guys, so you can do that. $25, hey, ready to take another shot. I'm ready to go here. $25 super. We'll take some more fireball shots. Tamper the Lamber using hashtag Bears. Ryan Pace, career saved. Maybe. It's very much a possibility that Ryan Pace has saved his job in Chicago. Time will tell, but hey, it's an A-plus move. Good job, Pace. Got to give him credit. Got to give him credit where it's due. Gamers Field, hashtag Bears. What do we do next to fix the offensive line? See what happens in round 2, right? Will Liam Meikenberg be there at 52? Dylan Radins, the guy out of North Dakota State. Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. One of these guys, Samuel Cosme, one of these players will likely be available in the second round. Get a tackle, and then get a corner or receiver in the third round. Ideally, that's how it falls. Now, we'll see if a lot of the tackles go, then you may have to go in a different direction. But it's not, the Bears line isn't in as bad a shape as you think. You need help at tackle, but the interior is pretty good. I like how Sam Mustipher played at center toward the end of last season. You got Whitehair and Daniels at guard. You can live with either Leno or Ifedi as one of your tackles. You need to get another tackle, though. You get another tackle, you're good. I think you're pretty good, actually. Just says Justin Fields all the way. Amen to that. Absolutely amen to that. Justin Fields. Hey, bottoms up. I'm ready to drink more if you guys send super chats, but I'm fired up about that selection. Justin Fields to the Chicago Bears. Let's go back to the top, Jeremy, 1 through 16. We'll recap where we're sitting at the draft overall. If you guys have missed some of the draft, we're covering it on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. 1 through 4, Trevor Lawrence to the Jags, Zach Wilson to the Jets, Trey Lance to the 49ers, Kyle Pitts to the Falcons. We'll get to that super chat after we recap these picks. Those were the first 4 picks. Number 3 was interesting. We thought they might go Mac Jones, but the Niners went Trey Lance. Jamar Chase, as expected, went to the Bengals at 5. Jaylen Waddle at 6. Penei Sewell to Detroit at number 7. And then Jaycee Horn to Carolina at number 8. 9 through 12, Patrick Surtain to the Denver Broncos. Devonta Smith to Philadelphia. Justin Fields to the Bears at 11. And then Micah Parsons, an interesting pick for Dallas, at number 12. And then 13 through 16, Rashawn Slater to the Chargers, the Northwestern offensive lineman. Alijah Vera-Tucker, the Jets, they protect Zach Wilson. They move up from 23 to select the USC guard/tackle. Mac Jones, 15th overall to the Patriots. And then Zaven Collins, the Cardinals at number 16 overall. We'll get to that super chat shortly here. Here we go. Call it comedy. Good work from Jeremy. He's just crushing it behind the scenes. Who do you think we can grab on with our next pick? I'm looking tackle. I just named some of the guys. Liam Eichenberg, Samuel Cosme, Dylan Radins, Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan could be an option in round 2 maybe. We'll see how far he falls. Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. We'll see. I think those are some names to keep in mind. A guy like Christian Darrisaw is not going to fall. I don't think Tevin Jenkins falls that far. I think you're out of play for those guys. But overall, I think those are some good names. And there's a few other guys. Maybe Walker Little out of Stanford. Maybe he's more of a round 3 guy. But the Bears will certainly have some options. Duke's in another super. Is this a Bears channel only if we super chat? Should we go back to the main? No, look, listen. It's not only if you super chat. Like, we can stay longer if you guys do, but we just have a lot going on. If you want, I'll tell you what, I'll be objective here. If you want specific pick-by-pick breakdown, deep analysis of every pick, go to our main channel. We should have the link in the live community. Can we get it in there, James, on our Bears channel? If you want, we're breaking down every pick on our main channel. We'll throw that lower third up, Jeremy, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We're breaking down every pick over there. I'm keeping you guys up to date with the picks. but we're keeping it Bears-centric as well. We want to talk about the Bears because, hey, they drafted Justin Fields. But if you want deeper analysis of what's happening in the draft, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Appreciate the supers. They help support the channel. But if you want more draft coverage, that is the place for you. Call It Comedy. Appreciate all the supers you've been sending. Let's keep him live and send those super chats. Hey, I'm here for it. It's kind of up to you guys, but you guys have done a lot already. Over $220 in supers. I think at 225 we hit another. No, 250 is our next milestone. If we hit the $250 in supers equals a vodka shot. So 30 more bucks, and I'm taking a shot of vodka. So there you go. What's that? Links in the chat, by the way, for our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. If you want deeper analysis on every pick, I think Tom Downey's back on our main channel. Is that correct? Chase Senior, they're crushing it over there. I know Mitch is live on our Raiders channel, so we're all over the place. But hey, that's what we do here. On Bears Now and at Chat Sports. Anger management, is it bad that Fields didn't look too happy? Honestly, I didn't see the instant reaction. I was breaking down the pick live on our main channel and then live over here. I would say he's probably not happy that he fell to 11. I don't think it's about the Bears. Listen, this is a guy who is motivated. This is a guy who feels like he probably feels deep inside he's the best quarterback in this draft because he outplayed the #1 quarterback in Trevor Lawrence earlier this year. He's just pissed off he fell to 11. Now send that energy, control it, and ball out for the Bears. Come on. That's what I would tell Justin Fields. Matthew, wide receiver or corner in the 3rd. Best player available at one of those positions. I don't care who it is. But yeah, I think one of those two guys, maybe offensive line if you don't go O-line in round 2. It all depends on how the draft falls. I can tell you this, though. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and you're going to want to subscribe to the channel here on Bears Now. Brody Pereira, you think Justin Fields should have gone top 10? Yes. He should have been top 5. The Niners should have taken him at 3, if we're being real. Jets should have heavily considered him at 2. I don't get this, where this came from. Oh, Justin Fields, he this and that. Well, he might fall out of the top 10, which he did. I don't know why, but hey, the Bears benefit from it. So, I think he's a top 5 prospect in this class. Should have gone top 5, but he didn't, and Bears fans should be happy about that. Here's $2. Who's got the other 28? Call It Comedy is speaking my language right now. Speaking my language. There is no doubt about that. Let's get a comment driver going here, Jeremy. There should be some in there. Just pick one. It doesn't matter what it is, and we'll get to that. I'll verbally shout out that last super. Who was that? Give me a name on there. I'll find it here. Grace Automotive. Appreciate the super. If you have a question, you can ask below. Did the Bears make the right pick? We'll show this one first. Did the Bears make the right pick? Y for yes, N for no. If you're typing in for no, you're a Packers fan. Or you're Don Burr, our resident Lions fan. Yes, they made the right pick. Are you kidding me? Of course they made the right pick. It's not even close that they made the right pick. By the way, Jeremy, I'm being told, and I'll get some shout-outs here, but 400 likes, you can show up the lower third. 400 likes, which is all the way down at the bottom there, Jeremy, equals a vodka shot. So I got to take a shot of vodka, and if we get 28 more bucks in super chats, I got to take 2 shots of vodka. So there you go. We'll get some vodka going here in a minute. James or Jack will help us out here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So stay tuned for that. I'll get some shout outs. Brody says yes. Jonathan says yes. Appreciate that. Grace Automotive. Dan Oakley, AGTG says yes. Bill Lavin says yes. Salmon says yes. Adrian says yes. Inca says yes. Martine says yes. Gabriel says yes. David says yes. Per Goldbrannen says yes. Michael says yes. Andre says yes. Gabriel says yes. Appreciate you guys. We got another super here from Santos. You guys are the best. Hey, Don Burr, let's put the gloves on and run 12 rounds in the ring. Harrison can ref unless you're all talk like Detroit. That's pretty good. Pretty good, Santos. Hey, I love Don Burr because he gets the chat going with you guys. And, hey, Don, you know the deal. If you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen. But I think you can take the heat. We could try and get that set up, Santos, if you guys are trying to get it flowing here. Do we have any updates on the draft, Jeremy? Have any more picks come through? We'll see here. We'll come back to some of your questions in a minute. But I want to keep you guys up to date with what's happening in the NFL draft. Let's see it here. couple of picks have rolled through. Oh, wow. Alex Leatherwood went 17th overall to the Raiders, so he's off the board. I was talking about him as a potential round 2 target. And then Jaylen Phillips, I like this pick for Miami. He goes number 18 overall, the edge out of the University of Miami. So local kid, he opted out in 2020 to prep for the – or no, he didn't opt out. Russo opted out. But Jaylen Phillips goes number 18 overall to Miami. Don't show that, Jeremy. We got to update that. The Bears do not have the 20th pick. That would be the New York Giants. So one of you guys behind the scenes will eventually have to update that. But Jaylen Phillips, the pick to Miami at number 18. But hey, Justin Fields. And this is why you subscribe to Bears Now. We'll push some Bears subs here. J-Dog. YouTube.com/Bears Now. Come on. Justin Fields, the Bears. We're breaking it down late into the night here on Chicago Bears Now. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's right below the video. Just hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and help us out. YouTube.com/Bears Now. And hey, right on time here from boss man James Yoder here. We got the vodka ready to roll here. I owe you guys. YouTube.com/Bears Now. I can just shit. Yeah, I'm good. YouTube.com/Bears Now. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll take. This is more of a double, by the way. Ooh, vodka. Not a big fan. Ooh. Can I get a beer, by the way, too? A little chaser action. Coors Light, please. Thank you. You guys see the link below. YouTube.com/Bears Now. Subscribe. We have fun. We keep it real. And this is why you sub, because how many guys are taking shots celebrating Justin Fields to the Chicago Bears? You don't see Mel Kiper doing that. Come on. That's what we're all about here on this channel. So appreciate the support. We'll continue to shout out some super chats here. My producer had to go do a couple of things behind the scenes, so we'll get him back just as soon as you can. I'm putting the sub link in here. Let's see here. Yeah, we got, 4 streams going right now? 5 streams. We're having a lot of fun. Cheers, more beer. Oh, we're over 250, by the way. I got to take another vodka shot. Kudos to you guys. 258 in supers. Pour this one up. It's for you, Justin Fields. Oh, man. A little chaser action here. I'll verbally read these super chats with my producer out for just a second. Let's see. Got to scroll back quite a bit. Santos, we already did that one. Call it comedy, $21, more to go. Appreciate that with the $2 super. The boss, Ryan Pace did the damn thing. He pulled the trigger, bear down. Ryan Pace, I salute you. I've given you a lot of shit, but you deserve it tonight. You deserve kudos tonight. Bassosaurus Rex, cheers, more beer. Cheers, boys. Oh, man, that's a little slushy. It's okay. It's mostly watered down. I'm good. Luke Thompson, you think the Bears should start Fields right away? This is a question that we're gonna have to find out, right? I wouldn't rush into it. I think Andy Dalton's serviceable. It's a guy who started about a decade in the NFL. He's obviously not your long-term option. That's Justin Fields. But the Bears, I would preach patience. You want to make the playoffs. You want to contend every year. But if sitting Justin Fields part of this year, or even the whole year, is better for the long term, you do it. That's what you do. If Fields isn't ready in year 1, you play Andy Dalton. If he's ready, play him. Training camp, off-season programs, those will be important here. We're at Tony Williams on the Super Chats, Jeremy. I've read the other ones. Tony Williams with the how important, yeah, that one. Good job there. How important will signing or drafting Fields be in signing Allen Robinson to a long-term contract? Okay, while you're saying this, I'm looking up A-Rob on Twitter. Let's see here. Pro tip for you, Rook. Find your favorite deep dish and pick a spot nearby. That's what he tweeted after Fields got drafted. So, hey, if I'm the Bears, I'm motivated to sign Allen Robinson to a long-term deal. You have until July to get a deal done, and it would actually lower your cap hit for this year. So, hashtag sign AR. You know what to do, Pace. If Pace drafts Fields and gets A-Rob done, hey, can't bitch about that, can you? Colin Bowers, $2 super, appreciate it. As a Bears and a Buckeyes fan, I'm ecstatic. Hell yeah, you are. I mean, come on. You get one of the best quarterbacks in Ohio State history to get drafted by the Bears. And by the way, I don't want to see any comments about, oh, Ohio State's never had a good pro NFL quarterback. Neither had Texas Tech. And then Patrick Mahomes walked through the door. You can't draft that way. You can't be like, well, Ohio State. Yeah, I did. It's been a while. Yeah, I'm absolutely ecstatic on that one. I believe I ended full screen. If you want to relay that information, Jeremy. Okay, Mark. If Justin is ready, play him. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, if he's ready, you play Fields. Especially if you think he can lead you to the playoffs this year, yeah, you play him. There's no doubt. I'm not saying you don't do that, but I'm saying if there's some hesitation, if you think he needs to sit for a few games, then you sit him. Yeah, you're Matt Nagy. You work with your offensive staff. You work through the offseason, see where your quarterbacks are at, and you make a decision. It's as simple as that. Andy Dalton knows after that pick that he's not the long-term answer. I know he said in his introductory press conference, I'd love to end my career here. Not going to happen. He'll play this year in Chicago. If he wants to re-sign as a backup in 2022, that's fine, but he's not the long-term answer. He knows that. I know that. You know that. Everyone knows that. But he might start some games this year. Call it comedy. Keep doing what you're doing. Love the content. That's what we're here for. That's why we love doing this. The interaction with you guys. You guys have been awesome tonight. $270 in super chats. Once we get to 300, we hit another milestone. So appreciate that. We'll keep it rolling here. The J Team Realty Productions on
I'll
this
jump
one.
on.
We'll jump on here.
As long as we stay above 1,000, we can stay live. We're 1,100 live. That's the
Yeah,
word.
if we stay above 1,000 live, you heard Boss Man. That's James Yoder, CEO here at Chat Sports and Chicago Bears Now. We'll stay alive. We're still over 1,000 live, so I appreciate you guys. With everything being expensive these days, Bears got to steal. You're damn right they did. You're damn right. The same GM that paid Mike Glennon $48.5 million drafted Justin Fields. What a world we live in. It's just glorious. Santos, another super chat. You guys stay in the chat. You guys super chat. We'll keep it rolling. Super chat money. We'll get you a crib in Detroit. That's Santos. And is Don Burr still in the chat? He's been bodied by Santos in the last few minutes. Just absolutely bodied by Santos. But hey, can't take the heat. Got to get out of the kitchen. That's what my dad taught me way back in the day. Mark Lawrence, hashtag Bears. If you don't super chat, we'll try to get to some of these. Do you think the Bears trade in the first round tonight? No, guys. Let's not get greedy. The Bears are not trading back into the first round. Like, relax. You got Justin Fields. Like, the Bears are done tonight, all right? They're done. Producer Jeremy said he had to put up that question. I respect that. That's a good flex there. Ooh, a little slushy beer there out of the freezer. Tamber the Lamber, the draft was entirely in our favor. It doesn't seem real. Guys, this draft fell beautifully for Chicago. It really did. What can I say? I mean, you couldn't have scripted it better. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Javen Terry, great day to be a Bears fan. We have to go O-line in the second round. I want to be careful with the absolutes. You don't just take an O-line no matter what. If all the round 2 caliber guys are gone and there's a receiver or a corner you love, take the receiver or corner. Trade down. You don't have to go O-line. I'm with you. Ideally, you would take an offensive lineman in round 2, but you don't have to. You absolutely do not have to. A little update on the draft here. Last few picks that have come in. Alex Leatherwood to the Raiders at 17. Jalen Phillips to the Dolphins at 18. Jamin Davis to the Washington football team at number 19. The New York Giants are on the clock. So, about 55-60% through round 1 here. Still got 1,100 live, $23 away. You see the little note on screen, $300 in supers equals a fireball shot. We're almost there. By the way, we hit 500 likes, Jeremy. What is that one? It's just a Beers Cheers. Appreciate you guys. 500 likes equals a Beers Cheers. Do we have a like push? I think we do. Check and see if we have that. I'm gonna make a new one actually, Jeremy. Stick with me here for a second. It's where the current like one is gonna be.
This one?
Check it now. Yes. If you love the Justin Fields pick, then like the video. That's all you got to do. You can push it across. It's ready to go. If you love the Justin Fields pick, like this video. Hey, come on. Like the video. You can type me once you've liked it, and I'll get some shout-outs here. We're at 550 likes right now. Let's crank that number up. Let's get 700. If we get to 600 likes, I think it's a free roulette spin, so we'll go to the next one. We'll do another shot. How about that? Another shot here. If we get to 600 likes, we'll do another shot here. Ignore the 600. Producer Jeremy will take a shot with me, I'm being told, if we get to 600 likes. So like this video. You guys can see Jeremy. We call him Jeremy Chugs because the guy can chug beer and he can slam shots like nobody I've ever seen. Producer Chugs is he's getting it done on a daily basis here at Chat Sports. So we hit it 613. Go get yourself a cup, Jeremy, and we'll do some shots. All right. Go to here. Let's do this. Yeah, we'll go to the super chat and Jeremy and I will. Oh, another 50 piece. We also hit $300 in supers. Oh, fireball shot. Marsh, you want to take a fireball shot? All right. 3 of us are going to take shots. Y'all go get some just beer glasses or whatever. Pour a shot in there. We'll do it that way. We don't have shot. We're out of shot glasses because we're live on like 12 channels. So we don't have clear glasses. Check for clear glasses, even if they're beer glasses. Yeah. Clear glasses. I'll read the super. My heart was beating so hard when I saw the trade to 11. Thank you, Nagy. Dream come true. You guys wanted to quit on Matt Nagy. I told you the guy is a good coach. He can evaluate talent. We'll see how good of a play caller he is. Now he's got his guys. No excuse. No excuse. All right, solo cup. We'll go old school here. Make us full screen, Jeremy. Make us full screen. Marshall's going to join me. To who? Giants. I don't mind that. Trade down for him. All right, we got a shot here. Yoder, you want to take one with us? You want to join the crew? Yeah. Get a solo. Get another solo cup. We need one more. Perry, you can hop on if you want.
Nobody has seen more destruction in the hands of Justin Fields than I have.
I don't know if Perry drinks, but if he does, he can have a shot. So, guys, subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. I'll slide over here. You guys can pour. I've got my shot. I poured a couple other ones. Get subscribed to the channel. Guys, we're having fun. I mean, come on. Justin Fields, the fucking Bears. Give me a break. YouTube.com/ Marshall's already taken his. He's got work to do. Appreciate
bear down.
That. Cheers, bear down, boys.
Oh, man, I need one. We got one.
Straight out of the bottle, or
I'll get a cup.
Get another cup here. Here we go. Another cup. We're gonna cheers with Boss Man Yoder. Woo. Oh, that's a double there.
I never tell you that.
Jeremy Chugs right here.
Justin Fields, I actually think he's the best quarterback in the draft.
He's a big Fields guy.
Michigan fan. I think Justin Fields is a winner. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
Woo.
$50 super chats means we'll stay alive for a while. Subscribe. We're at 990 people watching live. Let's get people caught up on the draft, Jeremy. We got to be around 1,000. That's the threshold. 332. Let's catch people up on the draft, Jeremy, and then let's do a comment driver. Cool? Yeah. All right, let's see. It sounds like last 4 picks here. Kadarius Toney, the most recent one, the receiver to the New York Giants out of Florida. I know he was potentially a target for the Bears at 20. So that's who the Giants take as a part of that trade with Chicago, if you remember that. Leatherwood, Phillips, Davis, Toney, your last 4 picks here. But we'll get the chat back and flowing here. We got to get it flowing here as we've dipped under 1,000. Just pick a win. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. What are you guys eating? It's draft night. Come on. We ordered pizza like 2 hours ago, and I haven't even had any yet, and I'm good. Drinking on an empty stomach. We're good. We're good to go. We're good to go. What are you guys eating today? And then let me know. We'll stick on this one for a sec, Jeremy. What are you guys eating? I'll get some shout-outs here. And we'll catch up on some supers if we have. I think it's just one more. 3 more. No, we did that one. What happens with Foles and Dalton now? I think Foles is gone. Trade him for a late day 3 pick. Maybe send Anthony Miller with him. I don't know. He's not a part of the future, so I don't really care what happens. Appreciate Ivan, the $1 super on that one. Help support the show. Let's see here. Wings, peanuts, tacos. We got chicken wings from Joseph. Jay says wings. Gumbo from Ken. Pizza from Brandon. That's what we got up here. J Mac burgers. Pizza from Noel. Egg Sandy from Timothy. Wings and beers from Josh. Wings from Hector. LOL package 'em. You guys like that idea? The Foles Anthony Miller. There you go. Wings and beer from Hector. I'm halfway there. I got the beer, so there you go. pizza, cheese crackers, cake, salmon and spinach, wieners, vegan digs, tamales. What did we trade for number 11? Let's bring up the trade graphic real quick, J-Dog. And then we will go to that next question here. Let's see. Tacos and Hennessy. What is that, J.R. Smith in the chat? All right, Giants traded back. They get Bears' 20th pick this year, which turned into Kadarius Toney. They also get the Bears' first-round pick next year, a 5th this year, and a 4th next year. So Bears still have their 2nd and 3rd-round picks this year. They're in good shape. They can get an offensive tackle. They can get a corner. They can get a receiver. But, hey, this is what you do when Justin Fields is sitting on the board at number 11. This is what you do if you are a team starving for a quarterback. You let the draft play out, you see a guy slide, and you go get him. I'm not going to lie, I was semi-terrified that Pace was going to take Mac Jones. That would have been such a peak Pace move, but he actually took the right guy. That's glorious. You love to see it. Justin Fields, your newest quarterback in Chicago. Daniel with the super, never thought he would fall out of the top 10. Agree. Get his bodyguard and his a tackle and a weapon, a wide receiver in the 2nd and 3rd round picks. Let's go. There is hope. Agree. I'm open to a corner with one of those picks, by the way. I'll throw that in there, but otherwise, I agree with everything you're saying. Brody Pereira, do we have a good chance for the playoffs? I think so. I think they had a decent chance before this pick. You have a good defense. Number 2 corner is questionable, but I think otherwise your defense is good. You got A-Rob, you got Mooney, you got David Montgomery, you got a good interior offensive line. You need a tackle, but you can still get that. So even if it was just Dalton, I think you could have competed for a playoff spot. But if Fields is ready as a rookie and he can ball out, sky's the limit for this team. Daniel Bauer has to be tackle in round 2. The depth. Get Justin Fields, future bodyguard. Get the tackle, the receiver in the 3rd. Let's roll. Appreciate the question there, Daniel, on that one. Back over 1,000 live. Appreciate you guys. Spread the word. We are breaking down what the Bears are doing here on draft night. Having a good time. It's out. By the way, James, do me a favor when we push out the video. Let's drop it in the live chat and deeper analysis on the Fields pick. Appreciate that. Daniel, appreciate the question there. Let's show the super chat menu again. How about that? A little super chat menu. I could use some more. A little bevy. Any super chat of any kind, we'll shout you out. Beers, cheers. We'll shout out your IG or Twitter or whatever. If you guys send in 10 or more. We don't have the roulette wheel, unfortunately. It's on our main channel right now. $25. Take another shot. Guys, I got 2 handles here. I'm ready to go. Clink. Let's get it. We are ready to rock and roll here at Chicago Bears now. Keep sending in supers. We'll stay alive. We'll have some fun here on the Chicago Bears channel. So we got 680 likes. If we get to 700, I don't know what shot clock is. We're not set up for that. So we'll do, how about this? 700 likes equals another vodka shot. You can go ahead and show that, Jeremy. I just fixed it. 700 likes equals a vodka shot. So 30 likes away, and we will. I'll take another shot of vodka. So appreciate you guys. Kirk with the super chat. Will Dalton be QB1? For week 1, it's very possible. It depends how the Bears want to approach things. It depends if they want to throw Justin Fields into the fire week 1. The good news is Fields is joining a team that's not a dumpster fire in terms of their roster. Okay, this is not. Trying to think of an example. This is not Zach Wilson with the Jets. Okay? That's a rebuild. This is not a rebuild. The Bears can win right now. Now, maybe they're not ready to be a Super Bowl contender this year, but if a couple things fall into place, I wouldn't completely rule it out. If you had to ask me today, say, hey, you got to pick an option, I would guess Dalton would start week 1. After that, who knows, right? It could be Fields as early as week 2, week 3, so we'll see. What good O-line is left? So let's show the picks so far, Jeremy, and then I will verbally shout out some of the top offensive linemen that are still available. So we'll recap through that. Yeah, we'll show Tom's big board too. Here are the picks so far. So no quarterbacks in the first 4. Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Kyle Pitts were the top 4 picks. Jamar Chase, Jaylen Waddle, Penei Sewell, who was a lineman, obviously. He goes to Detroit. Jaycee Horn, 8 to Carolina. 9 through 12, Patrick Surtain to Denver. Devonta Smith to Philadelphia. Justin Fields, Chicago. You love to see it. And then Micah Parsons to Dallas at number 12. Rashawn Slater, the number 2 lineman, he goes L.A. That's a great pick for the Chargers, by the way. Protect Justin Herbert. Elijah Vera-Tucker, another offensive lineman at 14. Mac Jones to New England, and then Zaven Collins to Arizona. Alex Leatherwood, 17 overall. This was a surprise. That's classic Raiders, by the way. Is Mitch in shambles on our Raiders channel? That's both. By the way, can we just gloat a little bit here? The Bears trade up for Justin Fields. If you guys don't know, we have a lot of Chicago Bears Now is one of our many channels, a part of the Chat Sports Network. We also have a Dallas Cowboys channel. They took Micah Parsons when they don't really need a linebacker. Hilarious. And then the Raiders took a legitimate late round 2 offensive lineman at 17. We're having fun celebrating Justin Fields. I think the Bears won the night. So in terms of some other guys available, we got Downey's big board here. Tom Downey, he crushes our coverage here. We can go ahead and show it, Jeremy. That's fine. Some of the guys still out there. Christian Darrisaw and Tevin Jenkins, I think they probably go round 1. Maybe Samuel Cosme is sitting on the board there as well. I'll just verbally shout out some other names. Liam Eichenberg out of Notre Dame. Dylan Radins out of North Dakota State. I think you look at a guy like Jaylen Mayfield, who maybe he's a mini project out of Michigan, but he's got huge upside. I think those are some players to keep in mind. There's still names out there, so you don't need to panic on O-line. You don't need to panic at all because you drafted Justin freaking Fields. Kane Insane with the super chat. Super excited about Fields. However, Justin didn't seem thrilled about being a Bear. Does this worry you at all? Doesn't worry me. I think he's pissed that he fell outside the top 10. He thought he was a top 5 pick. I thought he should have been too. Guys, he'll get on track. Let's not freak out about the reaction. Justin Fields is going to be just fine. The instant reaction thing is the most overblown thing. Like, this is a huge. There's so much stuff going within these guys' minds when they get drafted. Like, don't take it for more than what it is. It's going to be just fine. Justin Fields is a great selection by Chicago, and he's going to be here for a very, very long time. We do have a pick here. The first Michigan Wolverine off the board, Penei. He's going 21 to the Indianapolis Colts. So that's an interesting selection. Penei out of Michigan, he goes to Indianapolis. So the first edge rusher, I believe, unless you count Micah Parsons or Zaven Collins, goes off the board. So Penei, the pick at number 21 overall to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm pulling up some other offensive line names here, by the way. Actually, I don't have it in front of me. Just rely on the guys we said. Get subscribed to Chicago Bears Now. You see the link below, youtube.com/Bears Now. I'll put it in the live chat momentarily as well. Daily videos on the Chicago Bears covering the latest news, rumors, draft coverage. We'll probably be live again on day 2 because, hey, this has been so fun and successful. We're going to keep the momentum rolling, and why wouldn't we go live after drafting Justin Fields? We'll see what the Bears do on day 2. By the way, we're going to have Bears grades after all 3 days of the draft. You think we're done breaking down Justin Fields? I'm going to grade the pick in like a 10-minute video that'll go out later tonight. Subscribe. Don't miss it. Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear. Get on the train because it's leaving the station, folks. youtube.com/Bears Now. That link is in the live chat, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So youtube.com/Bears Now. Teams on the clock. Tennessee up next. You got Minnesota, NFC North team at 23. So we might take a little bit of a deeper look at that pick, and then Pittsburgh at 24. I think Green Bay is coming up at 29. By the way, speaking of old Green Bay, there's Aaron Rodgers drama. How great is that? The Bears finally get a franchise quarterback, and maybe the Packers are losing theirs. Type me in the comments. By the way, below the Type Me Fields one, Jeremy, I'm building this right now. Hold on. Aaron Rodgers drama. Type LOL in the chat if you're laughing your ass off at the Packers drama with Justin Fields. Right below the fired up about the Fields pick. LOL, type it in the chat. Come on. The Bears finally can feel good about a quarterback situation. And the Packers, for the first time in like 25 years, don't. This is glorious. This is so glorious if you're a Bears fan. Type LOL in the chat. Trevor says LOL. King Slayer says LOL. Alex says LOL. Tamber says LOL. Jason, Ken, Grade, Will, Ken again, Audio, Vincent, Tamber, Jacob, Aaron, let's see, Ken, Cameron, Brandon again, Gaming, Jason, Tamber, J Psycho, Brandon says LOL, and one says LOL, Jason Winter, Jeremy says LOL, I'm saying LOL. I mean, come on, this is just beautiful. LOL Packers from Tamber. Continue to shout out LOL if you're just laughing at the Packers because, man, I'm off my ass off, and I'm also drinking beer with you guys. What are you guys drinking tonight to celebrate Justin Fields? Beer, liquor? We got a couple of handles of alcohol ready to go as well. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Man, it's a good time. It's a good time. You guys are crushing it. Appreciate you guys. Hit $350 in supers. That might be another drink or do game. Do we have the cards?
What cards?
The drink or do cards. Message in there, James. Try and figure it out. We'll try and get this going. It's a game that Mitchell Renz came up with. But let us know what you're drinking, and we'll have some fun here. It's Bees LL. Packers will pay. Hey, man. Could be. I got a super chat from Santos. Rodgers going to be one of the 10 people at the Oscars with Bay. It's kind of funny. Kane Insane. How about a celebratory $5 fireball shot for the fans? Best I could do. I'll give you a celeb shot. I'll do a little celebby. Little celebby. Little vodka shot here. Cheers. Cheers to Justin Fields being a Chicago Bear. You gotta love it. I'm enjoying life. I really am. I'm tired of. We need next super chat. We'll fireball it up. Next question here. Hashtag Bears trade Nick Foles and Anthony Miller for Julio Jones. Is this a real question? Guys, be realistic with me. Help me out. Like, it's not going to happen. That Nick Foles and Anthony Miller might get you like a fifth. The Falcons aren't just going to give Julio Jones away. Unbelievable. Appreciate the question, but, man, that's just not going to happen. Got another pick. Titans have selected Caleb Farley, the corner out of Virginia Tech. Back question marks. Really good athlete, but he's had a couple of back surgeries, so Titans going to gamble a bit here in round one. Another corner off the board if you thought Farley could fall to round two for the Bears. That is not going to be the case. I believe he's the third corner gone. I think we've seen Patrick Surtain and Jaycee Horn. Horn went 8, Surtain went 9, and now Farley at 22. So now Minnesota's on the clock, a division rival of Chicago. We'll see what the Vikings do. We'll certainly talk about that selection once that happens. But Caleb Farley goes to the Tennessee Titans at number 22 overall. Vikings up on the clock right now. The Steelers coming up at 24. They've been a team linked to Najee Harris quite a bit. So we'll see what happens with a couple of these picks here. I think the Packers are coming up at 29. So we'll see if we're still alive for that. A lot going on here at Chat Sports. What do you guys... Ooh, how about this one? Name a random Bears player. Just think random, current, all-time, history. One of my go-tos is always Johnny Knox, Caleb Haney, Chase Daniel is a good one, Eddie Pinheiro. Let me know. Name a random Bears player down in the comments. Cameron Meredith is a good one. Anger Management says Justin Fields. He ain't random anymore. He is not random. Brian Urlacher, not random. Matt Forte, Tyler Bray, The Glove, Gary Payton, Roquan Smith, Chris Zorich, Tillman. We'll do some shout-outs in a minute. Appreciate the super chat from Phil Can Grill. Oh, my freaking God. Where have you been, Phil? We've been breaking this down for like an hour. Justin Fields is a Bear. You love to see it. You love to see it. I did some expanded analysis earlier. It's on the channel, correct? Has it gone up yet? It's going up shortly, so subscribe and be looking for it because I did some deep analysis on that pick. Kelvin Burrell, Rondell Moore with that second-round pick. I wouldn't hate it. Dump Anthony Miller afterward. Put more in the slot. Mooney and Rob on the outside. Let's do it, baby. Cameron263. So excited for the Fields pick. I actually think it was a good trade value, too. Yes, it was. I know Harrison is good with it, but how do you feel about moving up to 11? This trade was great value. We'll show it again for the folks who haven't seen it after this next Super Chat, but it was a great trade. Michael Medina. I hate the Packers since they beat the Bears in the wild card. Jay Cutler crushed my soul, too. Hey, Smoking Jay had his run, but it's Buckeye Jay now. That's where we're going with Justin Fields. These are the trade details. The Bears move up from 20 to 11. Obviously, they give up 20 to the Giants. They gave up their first next year, a fifth next year, and a fourth this year. You give up one extra first. That's cost of business. A couple of day 3 picks. Who cares? It's a great trade. It's a great trade. It's a really good trade for Chicago. Kudos to Ryan Pace. Kudos to Matt Nagy, who I assume had a lot of influence on this pick. If you're a Bears fan, you got to be fired up. Hit 800 likes. Beers cheers to you guys. Appreciate that. These are our Super Chat specials. Not sure how long we're going to be live. I'll let James make a call on that. But we'll keep. I'll let you make a call on live. Low 8s. If you super chat, we'll stay live. My burner, Harrison Graham's beard. Can you take the perspective of the people who are saying it was a bad pick? What are the cons that people are talking about? Honestly, I don't see it. Like, I said it when we did our expanded analysis on the pick earlier, and we'll post that on the channel shortly. If Fields ends up being a bust, I'm not going to rip Pace for it. He was, in a lot of people's mind, the number 2 quarterback in the draft, and you got him 11th overall. Like, sure, you gave up an extra first-round pick. I guess that's the negative. You don't have a first next year. But, dude, for a franchise quarterback, I don't see the negative. You kept your second and third this year. You can still get better this year in this draft. There is no negative, in my opinion. So, I don't get it, but people can't ever be positive sometimes. Darius Hendricks, appreciate the super. If you have a question, let me know. Cameron263. Liam Eichenberg in the second, corner in the third, wide receiver in the later rounds. That works for me. Remember now, so you have your second and third, but you won't have a pick until your 4th, 6th round picks. So maybe they package those, move into the 5th round or something like that, but you're probably not going to pick in round 4 or 5, or in round 4 for sure. We'll see about the 5th round, but I think it's BPA between O-line, corner, and wide receiver on day 2. Don't be shocked if the Bears trade down from one of their second-round picks, too. Maybe pick up an extra third or something like that. Who should the Bears draft tomorrow in the 2nd or 3rd round? 2 picks. You got number 52 overall, got number 83 overall. Name a player, name a position. Doesn't really matter. Let me know who should the Bears draft on day 2. I would be stunned if they traded back into the 1st round, so keep that in mind. I'll get some shout-outs here. Who should the Bears draft in round 2? Here's a more reasonable one. Foles and Anthony Miller for a 5th. Maybe. Although I don't know who's taking Foles at this point. I'm being told in my ear, nobody. Tevin Jenkins, sure. If he's there at 52, go get him. I don't think he will be. Liam Eichenberg, I think he's somewhat realistic. I think he could fall that far. I would like that pick. Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, sure. I'm down. I'm definitely down with that. Just tuning in, what do you think about Justin Fields? I think it's freaking awesome. That's what I think. Expanded analysis, we'll put it in the live chat shortly. Subscribe because we broke down the pick in deep detail. A couple more shout-outs. LeAngelo Ball, can't say LeAngelo. Amari Rodgers, I'm cool with that. I've got the link to the video. I'm going to put it in the live chat. Deep analysis. Hang on one. Yep. I'm going to put it in the chat a couple times. Deep analysis on the pick. Click that link if you want more. If you're just joining, if you want deeper analysis on the Fields pick. We're talking about it some, but I'm more just shooting the shit with you guys at this point. So go check out the video. Even if you already got my analysis, it helps us out. Just go like the video, honestly. Click that link, like the video. That would be a huge help. Greatly appreciate it. Super chat from Harrison Graham's beard. When do you think we will see Fields play? He'll play this year at some point. Like, obviously in the preseason, we'll see him play. We'll see Fields play in the preseason. I got to pass some of the liquor off. We're live on several channels right now. Preseason, sometime during the regular season, whether it's in mop-up duty or as a starter, but you'll see him play this year. So I can't say with a lot of conviction when I think he'll be the full-time starter. I would guess early to middle part of this year, but if Andy Dalton's the Week 1 starter and they're winning games, they might treat this year as a redshirt year for Justin Fields. So keep that in mind. If you guys want a shout-out, follow me on Twitter, @HGramNFL. I'll get my Twitter link, in the live chat there. So hang tight on that one. Give me just a second. One sec here, doing like 8 things at once. Follow me on Twitter, @HGramNFL. I'm putting it in the live chat for you guys. Give me a follow. I'll shout out anybody who follows me in the next, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Give me a follow. I'm putting the link in the chat. It's all in there. And then we'll come back and do shout-outs. We'll announce the Vikings pick. I actually like this pick from Minnesota. Christian Darrisaw, 23 overall, so no chance he falls to the second round. So we'll talk about this Vikings pick a little more later on, but let's get back to the Twitter thing, and we'll get some shout-outs here. Already got a few. Dorian, Nico Audio, Aaron Hunt, Jason Wade, Matt Tanabe. Let's see here. Got a few more coming in. Cordy Max, CLB, Mark, Big Chucky, Vincent, Dorian, Nico, Matt, Khalid. Appreciate you guys for following me. I'll put it in the live chat a few more times here. Just got a $10 super as well. I'll just keep on bringing them. Give me a follow, @HGramNFL. A couple more shout-outs. I'll read that super in just a second here. Justin Fields, let's effing go, from Mark on Twitter. Josh Gill, Moody, Adrian, Diego, Cordy, Earth emoji. So appreciate you guys for following me, @HGramNFL. More Bears info over there. A couple more. Bobby Choi, Josh. Appreciate you guys for giving me a follow. Super chat. I'm an Ohio State season ticket holder and a Bears fan. Justin Fields is the real deal. Believe the kid can ball. This isn't a Trubisky pick at all. This is going to be a Mahomes pick. I don't know if I'm ready to say Mahomes, but I tend to agree. I think this will be a good pick. I watched at least 3/4 of Justin Fields' games in college. He's got all the physical tools. He throws a beautiful deep ball. The whole he can't read defenses thing is just not true. He's a great prospect. Good mobility, strong arm, good leader as well. Got another pick in. We saw Darrisaw go to Minnesota at 23. Najee Harris goes 24 to Pittsburgh. We've heard this a lot. The running back for Alabama, he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 24. Another Bama player, James, just FYI, as he goes to Pittsburgh there. So those are the last 4 picks. Kwity Paye, Caleb Farley, Christian Darrisaw, and Najee Harris to the Colts, Titans, Vikings, and Steelers, those last 4 picks. So we're about 3/4 through the first round. We still got 25 through 32 to go as well. Subscribe to Chicago Bears now. We've got the latest Bears rumors, news, live shows on a weekly basis, and a whole lot more. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. Sub. Don't miss any of our coverage. If you're seeing Bears Now for the first time, hey, this is what we do. We have fun. We go live weekly. We do daily videos. We do mailbags as well. We answer your questions like we have been tonight, and it's great. YouTube.com/BearsNow. I don't even know how many new subs we have. I'm going to attempt to check here, but I'm going to gander. It's a decent amount. Hit that sub button. We crossed 25,000 subs recently. Let's hit 30K. Let's hit 30K as soon as possible. So go ahead and subscribe today. Aaron Lang, do you have an Instagram? I do have an Instagram. I'm not super active on it. I don't really do much of my work stuff. You guys can follow me. I'll just verbally say what my handle is. I think it's my first name, Harrison, Harrison, my middle initial L, and then last name, Graham, Graham. You can follow me there. Not a huge IG guy. I might get into the game deeper, though, so give me a follow. Appreciate it. More of a Twitter guy for now. Diego, what's the next move, corner or offensive tackle? Depends. I think ideally you'd go offensive tackle, but I'm fine with a corner. in the second round as well. Yeah, BPA situation, best player available. I think receiver could be an option in round 2. I think corner and offensive tackle are bigger needs. Yeah, you guys are on it. You guys know they need a tackle, they need a corner, they need a lot of those things. So Bears got the quarterback. Now you build around him. That's what you do. 8 more picks to go in round 1. The final 4 were the last 4 were Kwity Paye at 21, Caleb Farley, Christian Darrisaw at 23, Najee Harris at 24 to the Steelers. Who's on the clock, Jeremy? Help me out here at 25. Looks like Jacksonville. These are your next 4 picks. Jags at 25, Browns at 26, Ravens 27, and the Saints at 28. By the way, you see the note below me. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. And hey, we'll answer as many as we can. I think we just got another Super Chat from Diego. We'll get to that in just a moment. Over $400 in supers, by the way. That's a new threshold, Jeremy. So let's 10 squats. Come on. All right, I'm a man of the people. Show the super, then I'll do some squats. All right. Yep. What's the next move? Oh, we already did this one. My fault. My fault. Appreciate that. Let's go full screen. I got to do some squats here. Are those like jumps? Like, do a squat for me, James. Show me what I'm doing.
Hands out.
Oh, that's. All right. You're not really gonna see me well, but you're just gonna have to trust that I'm doing it. So. Oh, my knee. 4, 5, 6. Need to hit the gym. 7, 8. Where's my course? 9, 10. All right. Appreciate you guys. $400 in supers. That's a record on Bears now. So you guys are crushing it. Appreciate you guys. Super chat. We'll keep this party rolling. Jacob's got a question. Should we sit Fields for a year? I'm not opposed. Look, it worked out great for Kansas City. They played Alex Smith. Patrick Mahomes learned a lot. Then he took over. Every situation's different. I would not force Fields into playing. That's all I'll say. If he's ready week 1, great. If he needs to sit for a little bit, also fine. So I think it depends on how the next few months go, and then you make a decision if you're Matt Nagy. Timothy, what's the worst pick so far in your opinion? Let's recap them, Jeremy, so I can kind of get a refresher here. Worst pick of the first round so far. We'll just kind of cycle through here. None of these. These are all fine. Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, and Pitts. Jaycee Horn was a little early, but I don't think it's the worst pick by any means. I actually like Sewell to Detroit. Parsons to Dallas is pretty bad. Not because he's a bad player, but it just wasn't a top need for them. I didn't like that one. These next 4 are fine. Slater's a great pick, one of my favorite picks. Vera-Tucker's a good pick. Jets got to get better up front. Jones to New England makes sense. He can sit behind Cam Newton for a year, then be the starter. Zaven Collins at 16. That's a little rich for me, but not the worst pick in the draft. Alex Leatherwood. It's not a very good pick, folks. That is not a very good pick. I like the Phillips pick. Davis too high for me, but not the worst. I would say Leatherwood or Parsons are 2 of the worst picks. These next 4, Kwity Paye, he's kind of a projection pick. James Yoder, who does our Michigan football content at Chat Sports, would tell you that it's not a good pick. He was not a big fan of him in college. 21's not bad. We've seen some mocks have him going top 10, top 12. More of a projection there from the Colts. They're betting on his upside. Caleb Farley could end up being bad if the back doesn't check out, so stay tuned on that. I like Darrisaw out of Minnesota. That's a good pick. I liked him at for the Bears at 20 if they stayed there. Then Najee Harris is good. They needed a running back in Pittsburgh, so I'm good with all of those. Muhammad, what's next for us? O-line, corner, wide receiver. That's kind of what you're looking at. So we'll break it down here on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed and don't miss any of our coverage. Colleen, next up. Love the Fields pick. Can we get a bear down? Bear down in the MF in comments, boys and girls. Bear the F down. Absolutely. Type it in the comments. Aaron Lang. Justin, besides Fields, what is your favorite pick so far? Look, just because I host the Bears channel, I would say this regardless. Fields is easily my favorite pick. I just love the value. After that, I actually like the NFC North picks. I think I think Sewell to Detroit at 7 is a good pick for the Lions. And I think Darrisaw at 23 is really good value for Minnesota. So I think the NFC North has had a good night today. Some other picks I've liked. I think Fields is better, but at least the 49ers took Trey Lance instead of Mac Jones. So I think I'm okay with that. Obviously, Lawrence is a great pick at 1. We all know that. I don't mind the Giants, how they ended up on the flip side of this. I think Kadarius Toney at 20 is pretty good too. So those are some good picks, no doubt. But grade the Justin Fields pick. A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and grade it for me in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. And let me do something behind the scenes here. A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and grade the pick for me in the comments of Justin Fields, and I will get some shout-outs for you guys. A-Man says A+. Andy says A. Jacob, Ancient, Blanco, Gabriel, Q, Dennis, Kane, Viviana, Allison, Tim, Allison, Jesus, A++++. Muhammad, thoughts on the North Texas kid in the 3rd? Jaylen Darden in round 3. I'd rather take him in the 4th round, but you don't have a 4th or 5th, so maybe in a trade down scenario, back into round 3, not opposed. You put him in the slot. You got A-Rob and Mooney on the outside, Darden in the slot. I'm down with that. James Hess says A, Eaton says C. Come on, C pick for Fields? Gotta be a Packers fan. That's just BS. Corey says A. Wang Yang says B. C- should have had Mahomes. Guys, if just forget 2017 now. You got Fields. Come on. Tough crowd. Irv Gotti says A. James A. You got. I'm all about the A's. Come on. Type your A's. One sec, folks. Okay, give Jeremy that scoop. Tell him to work in some weigh-ins. We could try that. Hashtag Bears is fine. Bears is fine, yeah. Hey, guys, here's what we're going to do. So we're going to continue to grade the picks. We'll open up full screen for this, Jeremy, and you can work in some of the Fields graphics. So here's what I want to do. We're going to go back to our simulcast on our main Chat Sports channel in a few minutes, but first, let's do a Q&A, like a pure straight Q&A. We'll work in some of your questions. So use hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. You can throw that lower third up, Jeremy, and I'll hard pause, and that's how we'll start things. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. So get your questions in. If you Super Chat hashtag Bears, Jeremy's going to get them in. Ask about the draft. React to Justin Fields. Ask about their picks tomorrow. You can work in some of the ones we've already gotten to, J-Dog. So if you're ready to go, I'm going to hard pause, and we are going to get into this question. Maybe get the name badge ready to rock too. We could go to that as well. But hashtag Bears or Super Chat, and we'll load up your questions. We'll do an 8-10 minute video or 8-10 minute cut here, and then we will send you guys back to our main Chat Sports stream. So get them in, hashtag Bears, or you can Super Chat. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Get your questions in because it is mailbag time following the pick of Justin Fields in round 1. Man, what a night it's been, or what a night it was for the Chicago Bears. Get your questions in. We'll answer your questions for the next 8 or 10 minutes. Cordy Mack, Super Chat. You can skip the line if you do that. Should we go get a top receiver in round 2? I'm not opposed to it. We'll see who's still on the board. I don't want to speculate on who's going to be available. Obviously, a lot of the top guys are gone. Devonta Smith, Jaylen, Waddle. We saw Kadarius Toney get drafted. We'll see who's still available in round 2, but I'm not opposed to a receiver in round 2. I definitely don't think that would be a big problem. Alex Lancaster, who gets your boy Kellen Mond now? He ain't my boy, and it ain't the Bears. That's all I'm talking about. In all seriousness, I think he could go as early as the 2nd round and as late as the 4th round. Depending on when you're watching this, maybe he's already been drafted. So we'll see sometime on day 2 if I had to guess, but it won't be the Chicago Bears. Seth Williams in the 3rd. believe he's the Auburn wide receiver if I'm thinking of the right Seth Williams. If not, I apologize. I'm not opposed. I think receiver is an area you could look at on day 2. What I'm really hoping for is that you talk Allen Robinson into getting back on board for the Chicago Bears long-term, get a contract extension done for AR. Accent Yester Bears, so you think we could maybe get Greg Newsome or Stokes, take out, or Gowan, or one of those guys? Newsome, we'll see if and when he gets drafted. We're filming this with a few picks left to go in round 1, so he's still going round 1. If he's gone, maybe a guy like Asante Samuel Jr. is an option. We will have to wait and see how the draft plans out. But corner, O-line, receiver, those are 3 areas I'm looking if I'm Chicago. Dylan Radins in the 2nd round, absolutely. If he's available, I like that pick. He was Trey Lance's left tackle at North Dakota State, over 30 career starts in college. Had a good senior day. I think he's a great round 2 type of guy. If he's there at 52 and you take him, I'm down. I think that's a good option at left tackle. What is Justin Fields' ceiling? And we'll go ahead and ask you a Fields question here about Justin in just a second. Type me if you love the Justin Fields pick. What is Justin Fields' ceiling? A more physical Russell Wilson. He's faster, he's bigger, he's stronger. Now, Wilson is a damn good quarterback and a player we've talked about a lot here on this channel. Obviously, he's not going to be an option for Chicago now, which is fine with me. You got Justin Fields. But I think he's a bigger, stronger Wilson. I've seen a better Dak Prescott comp for him. I think that would be a really good option as well, because a healthy Dak is a really good question. I'll get this ready here, but go to another question, Jeremy, and then we'll come back to this. What is Justin Fields' ceiling? Better Dak, and then maybe even a better Russell Wilson. That's his ceiling, though. I'm not saying that's what they're going to be, but that could be the ceiling for Justin Fields. Trade for Michael Gallup. This would be interesting. What are you trading to get him, though? You know, you already traded a first next year to get Justin Fields. You already, you don't have a 4th this year. You trading your 3rd round pick? I'd be down. I'd probably do it. So we will have to wait and see. Zachary, and we can go to the question after this one, J-Dog. Justin Fields was in the talk about the 2nd pick months ago. What made him drop for us? Thankful. I don't get it. I don't know. I really do not know why this happened. It doesn't make sense. It's great for the Bears. You're loving it. Give me your one-word reaction to the Bears getting Justin Fields at number 11 overall. I can't explain it. That's why you subscribe, though. That's why you should hit that big red button. Give me your one-word reaction and subscribe as well, because this is glorious. It's going to be a fun rest of the offseason. We'll see what the Bears do in the rest of the draft. We'll see what they do in the second half of free agency. We'll see if they, do they keep Jimmy Graham. It's going to be fun. One-word reaction to the Bears picking Justin Fields. Hey, Trey, me, would you rather have Fields or trade him to the Seahawks for Wilson if they wanted him? Fields is the guy, okay? Guys, come on. You get Justin Fields and you're talking about trading him already? Come on. The Russell Wilson storyline was fun, but it's over. It's absolutely over for the Chicago Bears. Irv Gotti, do you think we overpaid for Justin Fields? Absolutely not. We'll show the trade details here. It was not a bad trade for Chicago. You gave up an extra first-round pick, okay. But to move up from 20 to 11 to get probably the 2nd best quarterback in this draft, yeah, you give him an extra first, sure. You give him your 5th this year and a 4th next year. Who cares? This is great trade value for Ryan Pace. This is a good move for this Bears front office, and Matt Nagy has to be thrilled that he's finally got a top-flight type of prospect to work with. Hugh again, Walker Little in the 2nd, and Anthony Schwartz in the 3rd. I'm not a big Schwartz guy. I know he's fast. I know he could be a good kick returner, but that's kind of all he is. He doesn't run good routes. Walker Little, I'd be okay with him in round 2. I'd rather get him in the 3rd round. He's played 1 game in 2 years, so he could be an option though. He's got high ceiling as a left tackle. We'll have to wait and see. Colin Scott, how pissed do you think Andy Dalton is right now, or our QB1? If you guys don't know the reference, remember when the Bears tweeted QB1 and a photo or a video of Andy Dalton? Well, he could still be your starter temporarily, but long term, no way. And hey, Andy Dalton's a vet. He's a pro. He's going to have the right attitude. Sure, I'm sure he's frustrated, but that's reality, man. Reality hits you quick if you're Andy Dalton. Tamper the Lambert, Tevin Jenkins, round 2. Depending on when you're watching this, it's possible he's already been drafted. We're filming this with a few picks left in round 1. If he's there, sweet. I'm down. I don't think he'll be there at 52. You'd probably have to trade up for him, but you plug him in at right tackle. You live with Charles Leno for 1 more year. Sure. Firefang. Ooh, Charizard. With the Bears hitting on the first-round pick, what do you think Nagy and Pace have left in store for us? I think they want an offensive tackle. You want to protect your new investment. So, O-line, you need a corner. I don't trust Desmond Trufant. If he's good this year, fine. But, yeah, I think protect Fields and get a corner, maybe get a receiver as well. If you want more Bears coverage during the draft, after the draft, on into next football season, this is the place for you. YouTube.com/BearsNow. We do daily videos covering the latest rumors, news. We're not going. I see what you're saying. The latest Bears rumors, news, daily videos just for you guys. Sorry, I was communicating with my producer on that one. So hit that big red button and subscribe today. All right, guys, I'm being told we're going to send it back to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Tom Downey and Chase Sr., they're breaking down every single pick. Big salute to you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. You guys have been awesome. I want to get a final tally on Super Chats. $406. It's a record here on the show. Appreciate celebratory shot. We'll make it happen here. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I don't know which cup is. We'll get a fresh cup here. J-Dog Marsh, I want to do a final shot to go for the boys on Bears Now.
Wait, we gotta do
If they can't, it's cool.
we'll do one on the next stream.
Well, yeah.
All right.
We'll do it, man. We'll get Chugs in here. We'll get Yoder in here. Yoder can go on this side. Pour one out for the boys.
Pour one.
Let's get one for J-Dog.
I was coming.
Marshall's gonna rally. Get him that. Get him.
I get a cup?
All right, that's his.
All right, here's the Bears.
Cheers.
Here's the Bears.
Great night, Justin fucking
Jay,
Fields.
You missed me, Jay.
Cheers up, bottoms up.
It was a triple. Woo!
Subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/BearsNow. I think it's safe to say we'll be live again on Friday, James. That's probably going to be the case. So go ahead and subscribe. You guys are the best. And without further ado, if you're we're gonna stay live. We'll simulcast to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Tom and Chase are going to break down the rest of the NFL draft for you guys. So I'm out. Got to get some food. We'll see you tomorrow here on Bears Now.
I like the options at Buffalo's disposal right now because I could also make the argument that since losing John Brown, they could use a player like Elijah Moore as a deep threat, as a dynamic player at the wide receiver position. You also have Rondell Moore available as well. Any of your best available prospects that you like maybe going to Buffalo?
I don't think they go receiver. Linebacker's kind of taken care of at this point. I'm thinking edge rusher corner. Maybe they stun. Maybe they take a running back, which I know they want pretty badly. Javonte Williams could be in play here, but I think I would be a little bit surprised if that's what they actually ended up going in the end. So we'll see.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills on the clock right now. We'll see which way they decide to go. It could be defense. I mean, it could be a guy like Jason Oweh out of Penn State. So that is some potential right there. So what, how much are we at on the Super Chat
inside of 100.
menu?
We're inside of 100.
So we are less than $100 away in Super Chats from reaching our goal tonight of $2,500. So if we get to $2,500, you know what that means? We bring in some of the guys who are working their asses off behind the scenes. And they deserve to take a shot and have a drink. And we can bring them on and we can start to celebrate their hard work. We're at $2,400 in Super Chats. Can we please, for the 20,000 people who are watching right now, can we get to $2,500? A couple of ways to do that. $30 and you can advertise any of your social channels. $35 roulette wheel spins. And if you super chat us $50, hey, I will rip a beer bong right now. So get us to $2,500 and I guarantee you I will do that beer pong very,
Last
very
five
quickly.
supers, by the way: Andrew Vanderpool, Mocha, and Arnold Adams, Anthony Fallon, and then Jack Fagan as well.
The pick is in for the Buffalo Bills at pick number 30, and we know that Sean McDermott loves to build that defensive presence in Buffalo, and he continues to do so with one of the best pass rushing prospects in this draft class. The Buffalo Bills go with Gregory Rousseau, edge rusher out of Miami, a dude who has a ton, and I'm talking a ton of upside, Tom.
Yeah, I'm a big upside intrigued option here for Gregory Rousseau. The potential of what he could be is very intriguing. He is not there yet. Now he's a big guy, as I kind of mentioned there. He has the traits you want in terms of height and length, right? 6'6", almost 6'7", 34 and 3/8 inch arms there. 4.67, 40 is okay. The agility was not great. He didn't test as well as people wanted. Here's what concerns me. He can win with his length. He won on the interior a lot at Miami. He bullied guards. Here's the problem. He played at 245 at Miami, winning on the interior. Now he's bulked up. He's about 265 right now, so he's put on about 20 pounds. That's a pretty significant amount there. But the way he won at Miami, the inside runs and the rip moves against bad guards is not how he's going to be able to win in the NFL unless he bulks up even more. And he's already put on 20 pounds. You're going to ask him to add on 60 total?
Yeah.
That's a lot to tack on.
A lot of weight to carry.
To a body there. He's not a true edge rusher yet, but he's a very intelligent player. I think he has a good pass rush plan there. The upside is intriguing with the length. I had a second/third round grade, and he was my number 58 overall player. I got concerns that he's going to be a bit more of a bust potentially. If he hits, though, we're talking Calais Campbell, Chandler Jones type of guy. I got visions of Deion Jordan in my head, though, too. So we're talking low floor, high ceiling player. We will see which one it ends up being, though.
That's why Tom Downey is one of the best in the business. Grade the pick of Gregory Rousseau to the Buffalo Bills on a scale of 0 to 100. I actually tend to like it. I think anytime you get a player who might be somewhat raw, has a lot of upside, some untapped potential, and you put him into a great culture, and you pair him up with a great defensive head coach in Sean McDermott on a stacked defensive line and a stacked defense, I like the prospects of Gregory Rousseau becoming a very good player for the Buffalo Bills in the future. We've seen the ability. We've seen the numbers. In 2019, I mean, what he did was absolutely
very
stupid.
Impressive production. It's just not as translatable as you want. You're still banking in the end on physical potential, but there is plenty of that.
And it seems as though, he bullied guys on the inside, maybe on the outside as well, but he's going to have to add some versatility to his game. And he just needs to add more of an array of a pass rush arsenal. So that's the issue with Gregory Rousseau, and Tom kind of broke it down in great fashion there. But in 2019, I mean, you look at the numbers right there, 15.5 sacks, 34 solo tackles, 54 total tackles, 2 fumbles forced. Like, he can be a very good player for this Buffalo Bills defense. And I can't emphasize enough that Gregory Rousseau, when he enters that Buffalo Bills building and that practice facility up there in Buffalo, like, he is going to enter a fantastic culture. I think what Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott are doing right now, one of the best jobs of any GM head coach across the National Football League. And part of that is because they've identified talent in free agency as well as the draft. They develop a culture as well. And Gregory Rousseau is going to be able to come in as a 21-year-old and be a guy who can make a lot of noise right from the jump after being selected number 30 overall by the Buffalo Bills. So Gregory Rousseau going to Buffalo, a lot of guy who some people had projected mid to late first round. Other draft experts had him slated to maybe go later in the second round. Gregory Rousseau slips in to pick number 30 in the first round, and Sean McDermott gets his hands on a prospect who he's going to really enjoy working with. Sean McDermott coming from that Jim Johnson lineage, the Jim Johnson tree. Jim Johnson, legendary defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, did a lot of great stuff in terms of defensive schematic stuff in football. Sean McDermott has done that as well in his short time in Buffalo. So Tom Downey has exited, and Harrison Graham has come out of the bullpen from a wild Chicago Bears now. You were on there for a long time after they traded up to take Justin Fields. We're back, baby. You already know. Yep. You sound like you've had a couple of sluggies. The voice is hoarse.
Hey, I'm good, man.
Bears fans, how are they reacting? I mean, you got to tell me. Nuts. Yeah.
Rashad Bateman, get Lamar Jackson a weapon. I think
doubt.
that's a good pick here. And now we see, okay, what does Baltimore do at 31 here? And Sam, if we got the Ravens' biggest needs, we can take a look at potentially what Baltimore could do in this second. Remember, this pick from Kansas City, by the way,
yes.
The Orlando Brown trade.
Exactly. So wouldn't it be funny if with the pick from Kansas City, in which Baltimore traded away Orlando Brown, Baltimore decides to go offensive line here? They could go offensive line. They could go offensive tackle, Tevin Jenkins, to replace Orlando Brown with the pick that they got back from the Kansas City Chiefs.
First of all, I think Tevin Jenkins is a round one player.
Me too.
2 picks left in the first round. Powerful right tackle out of Oklahoma State. Look, you would have liked to keep Orlando Brown, but he wanted to play left tackle. If you get Tevin Jenkins to play right tackle, that's fantastic. We did get a $50 super chat from OG Run Tag sending in the super. We'll go ahead and push that across. Chug. My beer's on my desk, so if someone wants to bring it in here, that would be fantastic. Marshall's on the scene here.
I got you covered.
We're good. I still got quite a bit left. Chase chugged for me, but I need a. I'm good, James. You can put that one back. Arnold with another $50 super. I'll drink for this one. More beer. That wasn't a beer. Beer bong, boys. Come on, bring it. Go Ravens. You owe me.
Did Arnold Adams? He did super chat us $50. Do we have to do a beer bong for Arnold?
I'll chug. Other people have touched the beer bong.
Yeah, we can bring somebody in here, Arnold, to do a beer bong.
We're being told the pick is in. We're gonna focus on the task at hand here. We'll do some chugging here in a little bit. We'll get to this pick for Baltimore as they're on the clock here at number 31 overall in the first round, their second first-round pick since they traded with Kansas City in the Orlando Brown trade just last week. Hang on one second here. We'll get to that pick in just a second. But you mentioned offensive line. That's an area you could go here. I definitely think that would be very interesting.
Yeah, I think Tevin Jenkins is the pick, and we'll get to it here in just a second.
The Baltimore Ravens pick at number 31 overall is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/chat. Get 20% off all their men's grooming products, including the Lawn Mower 3.0. Manscaped, your balls are going to thank you if you head over to those guys. The pick at number 31 for Baltimore, Jayson Owusu, who was getting some round one buzz in recent weeks. Chase, you've watched some Penn State the past few years coming up from the East Coast. Interesting selection here. Not a lot of production, but a lot of upside.
Yeah, if I was Baltimore, I probably would have gone Tevin Jenkins to replace Orlando Brown. But Jayson Owusu is a guy who a lot of people had projected going in the second round of the NFL draft. He goes at 31. Is it a reach? Possibly. And the production hasn't been crazy for Jayson Owusu. I will tell you this, though. If there's one guy you could pair Jayson Owusu up with and see him maximize his potential, it's Wink Martindale.
Yeah.
Wink Martindale is one of the best defensive coordinators across the NFL. And what does he do? He makes a lot of guys a lot of money, and he maximizes the potential. And Jayson Owusu, while he might be a prospect who hasn't put up huge numbers, the ability, the size, the speed, everything you really want in an edge rusher is there. Hey, if it's a juiced 40 at 4.37, it's juiced. But the fact that he might even be a 4.4 guy at that size of 6'4", 257 pounds is pretty ridiculous.
Look, I think it's a bit of a reach, but I also trust Baltimore when it comes to defense. They have a rich history on that side of the football, and this is no doubt we're betting on upside here. Yeah. Like, the athletic traits that Jayson Owusu has, you simply can't teach. You can't see a guy who's 260 pounds run a sub 4.4. That's the type of athlete he is, and they're banking on him to reach his potential. Grade the pick for us, A, B, C, D, or F. How do you guys feel about Owusu to the Baltimore Ravens at 31 overall? I think we're in agreement, Chase. It's a bit of a reach, but I think this could be one of those where we look back a few years from now and like, wow, he fell to 31 overall. He's got that type of ceiling.
C right now could end up being a B or even a high A if he maximizes his potential.
And we told you guys this pick was presented by Manscaped. You see the link on screen, manscaped.com/chat. Chase, I don't know about you, but these guys changed my life. I've been with my wife 3 or 4 years now, and early on she was like, I gotta tell you, honey, it's a little gnarly down there. I was like, you know what? Hey, I gave up on shaving downstairs because I was tired of the razor burn. I was tired of the pull, all the hair pull. I was like, this is just a mess. I quit. Manscaped reached out and was like, hey, give us a chance. It's changed my life. Used the Lawnmower 3.0 last night. Had to get fresh and clean for the NFL draft. I know you're a big fan of this product as well.
Yeah, so you mentioned the Lawnmower 3.0. I'm going with the ball deodorant.
Ooh.
I'm a guy who likes to work out a lot. I like to run. And sometimes, after a run, you go out for a beer. You don't have time to shower. What do? You don't want to be stinky, right? You don't want your balls to stink. So you just put a little ball deodorant and apply that down there, and then it has you smelling good. Also, the cleanser, fantastic product as well. But the big one there, it's the Lawnmower 3.0. And, hey, I'm going to warn you. Change the guard, change the protector. You can use it down low, but you can also decide to change the protector and use it like on your sideburns, on your beard, because Harrison has a mean beard going on. The versatility, like some of these NFL draft prospects who have ball skills. Improve your ball skills by hitting up our boys at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/chat, enter the promo code chat, and you get 20% off plus free shipping.
So a few more moments on this pick here, Chase. Jayson Owusu out of Penn State, 0 sacks last year. To me, that's a bit of a red flag. Now, I know we see this all the time, right? Like, guys were playing out of scheme. Maybe there was an injury that wasn't made public, and then they get to the NFL and they're different players. You can't find a couple of sacks, though. We have to acknowledge here that the production was not there at Penn State.
No, and only 8 sacks throughout his entire Penn State career. And I moved to Chat Sports from Pennsylvania. I was covering Penn State a couple of years ago, and I was so high on a guy like Micah Parsons. A guy like Jayson Owusu, he did pop because he was very active in the backfield. So I think that's what the Ravens saw, is just a lot of potential upside for an athletic freak here.
To round out round one of the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Joe Tryon, the edge out of Washington, and the defending champs add a piece on defense.
Yeah, a first round, second round grade for Joe Tryon. Look, let's be honest. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have killed it this offseason, right? They brought back all 22 starters. So picking at number 32, they didn't need an impact player right from the get-go. But I will tell you this, like Jason Pierre-Paul, he's getting older. He's pretty expensive.
Yep.
Could Joe Tryon be a future potential replacement for a guy like Jason Pierre-Paul? That's a possibility. 6'5", 259 pounds. For Tom Downey, like a second, third round grade, he ends up going with the last pick in the first round. I don't necessarily hate it. Opted out last year, didn't play in 2020. But when you look at all these guys, like the ability is certainly there. And when he's a backup, he's going to be a backup this year. Like maybe he can be solid.
I'll add also this. Shaq Barrett re-signed, so maybe you're thinking, okay, let JPP walk after this year. He's getting older, like you said. Maybe you got your edge rusher of the future opposite of Shaq Barrett and a guy like Tryon, who, unlike a guy like Jason Owe, who went 31 to Baltimore, did have production at Washington. Not quite the athlete that a guy like Jason Owe is, but still good size, 6'5", almost 260 pounds, or 6'5", that's good speed at that size, and had 8 sacks in 2019 and was an opt-out, but the Pac-12 had a funky year. We didn't even know if they were going to play football this year, so I'm kind of throwing the opt-out thing out the window with a lot of these guys. I just don't think it matters that much. If anything, it's less wear out on the tires. So he rounds out round 1. Joe Tryon is the pick for Tampa Bay at 32 as they look to make another Super Bowl run here, Chase.
And I think they're going to because they brought back every single player, every single
literally
starter,
every single player,
and almost every single free agent from a team that won the championship a year ago.
Yes.
So. Yeah, I mean, Joe Tryon, look, I don't hold COVID opt-outs against anybody. And I think it's ridiculous that, like, some front office executives have said, oh, you know, he opted out.
What, you're not going to draft Jamar
Chase? He
Chase?
want to play. Like, you know, I don't really like that. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And then, conversely, they go, oh, well, he wanted to play football in 2020. This guy is a gamer. Look, I mean, if Joe Tryon had some concerns and just wanted to train for the NFL draft, like, that's totally understandable. Now, he didn't play a ton at Washington. He redshirted in 2017. In 2018, he had 2 sacks, limited playing time, only had 20 tackles. 2019 is really when he kind of appeared on a lot of people's draft boards where they're like, okay, this guy in the future could be pretty good. He had 12.5 tackles for loss and 8 sacks.
Joe Tryon, the pick to round out round 1, he goes to the Buccaneers. By the way, I know you guys are saying, oh, you owe us a beer bong or whatever. If someone behind the scenes wants to wash this bad boy, I'll do it for you guys. But yeah, let's get this thing washed. We did some chugging, but we owe you the beer bong. We're a man of the people here at Chat Sports. Chase, in the meantime, let's kind of walk through day 2. Let's look ahead here. By the way, stay tuned. Just because round 1 isn't over, we'll recap every single pick. We'll do a live Q&A, so get hashtag NFL in the comments. We'll answer your questions. And also, Tom Downey is going to come back and do some round 1 draft grades. So stay tuned for that. We're staying live. We're not going anywhere. But let's look ahead. Obviously, the Jags kick things off at 33, Chase. You got the Jets, Falcons, and Dolphins as we kind of kick things off in round 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I like what the Jaguars have done. Like, they go Trevor Lawrence at pick number 1, and then they team him up with his college teammate and Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
They go running back at the back end of round 1, which was a little bit of a surprise. The Jets continue to build around Zach Wilson. They go Zach Wilson.
Love the Vera-Tucker pick, by the way.
Love the Vera-Tucker pick. What are the Falcons going to do after they drafted Kyle Pitts, who I think is going to be a generational superstar? And then the Miami Dolphins, they're a team picking at 36, 4th in the second round, that went 10-6 last year. I love how Chris Greer is picking how he's building this football team, rather. Yeah. And for them to get another premium pick, that's part of the beauty of what they're doing in Miami is just collecting all of these draft assets and building a stacked
Dolphins
squad.
BPA situation, take best player available. You can trade down. There's some flexibility there. Atlanta, go defense the rest of the draft. Your offense is in good shape. Maybe you take a running back in the middle rounds of the draft. Todd Gurley, showed last year he was a little bit washed there. Those knees are shot. But I like this offense with Matt Ryan. You added Kyle Pitts. You got Julio still. Keep Julio. Don't trade him.
Yeah. Still got Calvin Ridley too.
And Arthur Smith. I think he's gonna elevate this offense to a new level working with Matt Ryan in a round 2. We'll take a look at some of the other round 2 stuff later, but let's go ahead and recap round 1 in just a second. We're going to do the beer bong first. We promised the people, so
got you.
Stay tuned on that one. Are we going to recap first? Is this the cut here? We can hard pause and just do it.
Okay, so we're going to recap the first round here in just a second. So Chase and I are ready to go. Brett, give me the go-ahead, and we will rock it here. You're watching the NFL Draft Round 1 recap. Harrison Graham and Chase Sr. here. We're going to recap every single pick of the first round, and obviously we got started with Trevor Lawrence and then two more quarterbacks, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance.
Yeah, so the first two picks, we kind of knew that was going to happen with Trevor Lawrence going 1 to the Jags. A lot of buzz around Zach Wilson going to the Jets at number 2. Those two picks for me were kind of set in stone. I did not buy into the Mac Jones hype. I refused to buy into it, and I was right. For a little while, I thought it was going to be Justin Fields. San Francisco went with Trey Lance. I love the pick because Kyle Shanahan's going to tap into that upside, and that really set the stage, Harrison, for the rest of the first round. Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, a lot of buzz around that pick. I expected that to happen, but Trey Lance going at number 3 kind of set the stage for everything else in the first round.
That was kind of the first highlight of the draft, right? What are the 49ers going to do at 3? And then there was a mini thought, will the Falcons take a quarterback? They go Kyle Pitts at number 4. 5 through 8 here. This was pretty predictable. We knew it was going to be Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. They opted to go with the LSU receiver, team him back with Joe Burrow, so that makes sense. Jaylen Waddle, another receiver, at number 6. Penei Sewell, kind of a safe pick for Detroit at 7. I like that one. And then Jaycee Horn, maybe a little bit of a surprise. He goes number 8 to Carolina.
But there was a lot of rumors and speculation about Jaycee Horn climbing up draft boards.
Fast riser.
And he was a fast riser, and that's exactly what happened. Him going at 8 didn't necessarily surprise me because Matt Rule at Temple, at Baylor, with Carolina, when, last year they addressed defense, has shown that he wants to build a defensive-oriented football team and a defense that is very physical, that has a bunch of bulldogs, that will get after you, and that's what they did with Jaycee Horn.
9 through 12 here, Patrick Surtain was the pick for the Denver Broncos. They could have taken Justin Fields if they wanted him. There's Aaron Rodgers rumors flying around. We'll certainly monitor that, so keep it here at Chat Sports. Devonta Smith, Philadelphia trades up. Let's talk about that one for a sec.
Yeah, that was a huge trade up, getting Devonta Smith. And look, a lot of people are concerned about his size. He's around 6 foot. He's less than 170 pounds. I look in years previous and in NFL history, not a lot of wide receivers who are that small who end up being really good players. Isaac Bruce is one of them, though. Okay, so there have been wide receivers who at that size have been good. I think he plays bigger than his size. I think he has dynamic playmaking ability. I think he has great hands. And sometimes, dudes can just ball regardless of size. And I think Devonta Smith is that dude. And look, he's been nicknamed the Slim Reaper, right? So if he's nicknamed the Slim Reaper, I think he can play. And we saw last year, record-breaking campaign, Heisman, Biletnikoff winner. I think he's going to be a really good pro.
We won't waste our time with Micah Parsons. Let's talk Justin Fields at 11.
Your guy.
The pick that made me go live on Bears Now, that made me chug some beers. That made me take some shots and is making me chug another beer via the beer bong here. This is why you subscribe to Chat Sports, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. Chase, tell them some other reasons to subscribe while I get this ready.
Well, I mean, why not subscribe to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel by hitting that big red button down below? We have been live breaking down, dissecting every single pick of the 2021 NFL Draft. And the good news is, hey, if you're going to miss us overnight and if you're dreaming about us while you're sleeping, it's all good. We're going to be back tomorrow, and we're going to be back on Saturday. Every single round of the NFL Draft, we're going to be breaking down every single pick. And we're also bringing you draft grades, right, for our team-specific channels. We are breaking down every single prospect as Harrison struggles to get through.
Hey, man. It's
what
been a long...
is that? Is that a
beer bong? I don't know what you call this thing.
Flamingos are usually pink.
Got a little more. I got to finish.
It's a mermaid. But, hey, Harrison, nice chug job there.
I'm no you. Chase is he's our senior chug guy here.
I might have to do one for you.
Hey, here's the thing. We keep it loose. We keep it fun. We break it down. We don't give you BS. We give you good analysis, but we're loose. You don't see Mel Kiper
That's
taking
another
shots.
reason why you subscribe. You get to see that.
Mel Kiper ain't taking shots here in the draft.
No.
He ain't chugging beer. So we'll pick it up here. We kind of focus more on the early picks, 13 through 16. Rashawn Slater to the Chargers. Vera-Tucker on a trade up from the Jets. Mac Jones at 15. Zaven Collins. Let's spend 20, 30 seconds on Mac Jones here. That's the pick that stands out. Bill Belichick just hangs out, gets his guy at 15.
Yeah, just want to hit on rookie quarterbacks here. So you provide protection for Justin Herbert with Rashawn Slater.
Yep.
You provide protection for Zach Wilson with Alijah Vera-Tucker. And there are people around the league right now who are quivering. They're shaking in their boots because the New England Patriots got Mac Jones.
Didn't have to trade
the
up either.
big question, is he going to play right away? Or is he going to sit behind Cam Newton? Because he is the most ready-to-play prospect of any quarterback in the 2021 draft class, in my opinion. But a lot of people were saying, please don't let Mac Jones fall to 15 to the New England Patriots. They didn't even need to trade up to get him, and now they get their future franchise quarterback at pick number 15. I love the value right there.
17 through 20, Raider Nation in shambles after taking Alex Leatherwood at 17.
They wanted linebacker.
This is quite a stunner there. Jalen Phillips to Miami at 18, Jamin Davis at 19. Kadarius Toney at 20, part of the trade down with the Bears on the Justin Fields trade. Talk about that pick for a minute.
So the New York Giants were originally at 11. Bears trade up. They get their franchise quarterback in Justin Fields, which I think is the best move of night one of the 2021 NFL draft. And
Bear down, baby.
There was a lot of talk about the Giants addressing wide receiver at 11. I think they saw Devonta Smith get picked by the Eagles after they jumped him because they traded with the Cowboys, and they said, okay, let's pick up a future first-round pick, which is a nice
good
get.
move. Yeah.
And let's get Kadarius Toney, a guy who can be a really good player in the future.
Yeah, I think that might end up being a win-win trade for both those teams. Kwity Paye, the first Michigan player off the board. He goes to the Colts at 21. Caleb Farley, Christian Darrisaw, Najee Harris. I think Darrisaw and Harris, two of the better value picks in this draft. I think Harris is a plug-and-play running back. And Darrisaw, if his head's on straight, he might be a 12-year left tackle.
I agree with you. And for those who took either the over-under that was 0.5 or 1.5, depending on which book you looked at for running backs in the first round, they celebrated because you had Najee Harris and you had Travis Etienne going in the first round. Pittsburgh was last in run game production last year, so I like Najee Harris. Offensive line still a little bit of a concern. To get Christian Darrisaw at pick number 23,
that's great value.
He's going to play right away. He had more than 30 starts throughout his college career. I really like that. Tennessee going Caleb Farley. If he stays healthy, that could be one of the best picks of the first round.
That's one of the wild card picks that we'll look back on. 25 through 28, you mentioned Travis Etienne. A couple of Clemson guys going to Jacksonville. I like that quite a bit. Now you got two good backs for the Jacks
James
as well.
Robinson.
James Robinson, great player last year. Greg Newsome the second. He's a good player. I like him going to Cleveland. Rashad Bateman, you get a weapon for Lamar Jackson. And then Peyton Turner. Peyton Turner?
Came out of nowhere.
Sean Payton?
Yeah.
Come on.
So I don't know if there's a relation there in terms of the first name. No, obviously
Brutal.
we're kidding. But at the end of the first round, sometimes you just see teams, they can't help themselves. And they want to take shots. They want to swing for the fences.
We heard they might trade up
in terms of the Saints.
Peyton Turner.
Rumors that they go inside the top 10. They stay put at 28. I don't like the pick of
I don't
Peyton
like it
Turner.
either.
I thought
Maybe
it was
my least favorite of the first round.
massive reach, but we know that the Saints like to be really aggressive.
And we wrap things up. Eric Stokes, another bit of a reach. Thought he's more of a mid-round 2 guy.
4-2, 4-3 guy. Yeah.
Green Bay just will not get a receiver. Hey, maybe they're trading Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Gregory Rousseau to the Bills at 30. Did not test well. Good production. Opted out in 2020. Jason Owe, if you joined us for our earlier coverage live, great athletic traits, just didn't have the production.
Yeah, a guy who I watched, scouted, and covered at Penn State. Very active in the backfield. He's like 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds, and runs a 4.40. So Wink Martindale was probably like, yo,
let's gamble on upside.
John Harbaugh, let's gamble on some upside. Jason Owe has a lot of potential. I didn't get the Peyton Turner pick. I didn't get the Joe Tryon pick. There are going to be some great players available in the second round because of some of the reaches that we saw at the back half of the first.
And here's the thing. You see that link below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. A lot of channels, they're going to bail after round 1. They're going to be like, oh, we had a good time. No. Day 2, tomorrow, we'll be live. It's going to be a whole lot of fun here on Chat Sports. So go ahead and subscribe. All right, so here's what's coming up on Chat Sports. Chase and I are going to hop out. We got stuff to do behind the scenes with some of our team-based YouTube channels. Tom Downey has draft grades ready to go, so we're going to hop off. We'll cycle through a couple of graphics while Chase and I hop off, and Tom will be on in 2 or 3 minutes. So stay tuned. We're not going anywhere here on Chat Sports.
Round 1 is in the books for the 2021 NFL Draft, so I, Tom Downey, am here to hand out Round 1 grades for every single team that, made a first-round pick, and it's all thanks to Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com/chat, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT at checkout. That link, by the way, folks, will be in the comment section and in the description. We'll go team by team here from number 1 to number 32. So we'll start with Jacksonville, who had 2 first-round picks this year. No surprise, they took Trevor Lawrence with the first overall selection. That shouldn't have been much of a stunner whatsoever. They also took Travis Etienne with their other first-round pick, which was a little bit more of a surprise. You reunite the 2 Clemson superstar players, 1 quarterback, 1 running back. I'm going to give this one an A-. Now, I've been a pretty hard grader in the past, but I guess I'm feeling nice today in my instant gut reactions here. We can debate the value of going RB in round 1. I think it's fair. They still might get Trevon Merrick in round 2 since he is still on the board there. 2 good football players. I get it for the Jags. The Jets are next up here, also with 2 first-round picks. Zach Wilson, who I did not have as my number 2 quarterback. He was actually number 3, but not a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination. And they also took Alijah Vera-Tucker. You're trying to build around Zach Wilson. He is your future. He is your franchise. Don't do what you did with Sam Darnold. Vera-Tucker, for me, my number 12 player. Now, they did trade up to get him, and we will see how that impacts them for the rest of the NFL draft, but it's a good player. 2 good football players, 2 solid value picks as well. I like this for the Jets. An A- means you did great. A B means you did good, and that's what I think the Niners did with Trey Lance. I'm going to give this one a B+. Now, future draft classes without a first-round pick, that's going to make it a little bit tough for them to get a good grade because I will not grade on a curve for teams without or with fewer picks. I am so glad it wasn't Mac Jones. That's my number 1 takeaway for San Francisco. Lance a much better player, at least upside-wise, than Mac Jones is. Another B+ here for the Atlanta Falcons, taking Kyle Pitts. I am sure they would have loved to have traded down. They simply did not have enough of an offer in the end. Is it a full-fledged A? Not really, but I'm not going to complain. Neither should Falcons fans about getting my number 3 overall player. We can just debate the value of a tight end later on. Now, many people thought the Bengals are going to take take Penei Sewell, right? I'm not so sure on that one. I had Jamar Chase in my mock draft. They should be able to get a good offensive lineman at the top of round 2. Maybe Tevin Jenkins ends up being the pick for them, but I like this for the Bengals. A- grade. You pair Burrow up with Jamar Chase. What more could you possibly want there in the end if you're looking for an impact playmaker to go along with Joe Burrow? So an A- grade for me here for the Cincinnati Bengals. I was expecting Jamar Chase. I was not surprised by it, and they got a good football player in the end. So good job there with the Bengals. Now, as mentioned, today's show is made possible by Manscaped. See it right there on your screen. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code CHAT. That's manscaped.com/chat, and then use that promo code CHAT at checkout to ensure you get the 20% off and the free shipping on all their fantastic men's grooming products. Not just the Lawnmower 3.0. They even got some nice crop mops as well to help make your undercarriage, if you will, smell and feel just that much better. So check out the comment section and the description, manscaped.com/chat. We will put that link in there for you guys. So all you have to do is click, shop, and make your junk smell a little bit and look a little bit better. The Dolphins here with 2 first-round picks. Jaylen Waddle was the first selection. Then Jalen Phillips was the second one. Now, value-wise, we can argue that maybe it wasn't the best value pick, but I do like both football players. And Dolphins fans should feel good about this. I'm going to give it a B. This is a good start to their NFL draft. You can't complain too much. You get to pair Jaylen Waddle with Tua up again. That should be dynamic there. And if Jalen Phillips stays healthy, he is, at least for me, the best edge rusher in this year's class. So what was the best round 1 pick? Spoiler alert, unless you want to go with Trevor Lawrence, I'm not going to complain about either. We have not gotten to the one that I like the most so far. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and let me know who the best round 1 pick is. This question is the pinned comment on today's video. One of my favorite ones, and one of the only A-pluses I gave out, I believe I gave out 3 in total, yes I did, was Penei Sewell to the Detroit Lions. My number 2 overall player. You want to run the football, Detroit? You want some power? You want some meanness? You want a football guy? As Dan Campbell likes to say, you got one in Penei Sewell. Maybe he's your left tackle, maybe he's your right tackle year 1. Doesn't really matter in the end. He's going to be a fantastic football player. Jaycee Horn, the pick here to the Carolina Panthers, went back and forth between a B- and a C+ here. Ended up being the first defensive player drafted. My number 13 guy, quote-unquote 5-pick reach there. I would have liked Rashawn Slater as well, but I'm not going to complain about it. I like his attitude. He is a culture changer on defense. Matt Rule is going to love him after what he did this past year at South Carolina. All right, back-to-back corners here, breaking the hearts of Cowboys fans everywhere. Patrick Surtain, giving this one a B-. I like the player, number 11 overall. Corner was not that big of a need for Denver. They paid Ronald Darby. They drafted Michael Ojemudia last year in the 3rd round. They kept, I'm drawing a blank on their nickel guy, whatever. They signed Kyle Fuller as well. Corner was not a need. Denver wanted to go with a cornerback here. Maybe they'll try and make a move for a quarterback. Maybe you shouldn't have passed on Justin Fields in the end. Now the Eagles got wild with it, trading up over the Giants to secure Devonta Smith. Now, trading up a 3rd-round pick, it's not that bad. The Eagles clearly wanted Smith, so they moved down, then moved back up. They get a good football player. I'm not going to give it an A. Now, I can't quite do it since you moved up, but I do like it for Philadelphia. Now we'll see how they fix their defense going forward. The Chicago Bears, folks, they found a way to do it. They got Justin Fields at pick number 11. This is a potential job-saving trade-up. It was expensive, but a potential job-saving move by Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy to go get my number 2 quarterback. I think he's going to be a franchise guy. I love this by Chicago. They got aggressive. They were desperate, but they got Justin Fields. And that matters. That is a brilliant, brilliant move by the front office in Chicago. To go out and to go get a legitimate franchise quarterback, that is an A+ move. They found value out to the top 10. Well done, Chicago. C for the Dallas Cowboys here, taking Micah Parsons. It was going to be a D, but you know what? They traded down, and I will give them credit for that, and they got extra picks to play with. Micah Parsons was my number 16 overall player, but the Cowboys have not learned from their mistakes. They continue to invest in off-ball linebackers who are not good in coverage and wonder why, well, our corners are bad, our secondary's bad. We could have taken Rashawn Slater, who I had a top 6 grade on there. You take Micah Parsons with legitimate off-the-field red flags. Hope that's all good there. Clearly the Cowboys think it ends up being there. If he hits, I will happily look stupid. Because Micah Parsons does have upside. He has talent. He has to be better in coverage, though. You wanted the corners. Everyone knew it, and you didn't get one as a result. And then you trade down, and you take another linebacker. That's not good use of your number 1 draft asset. So, Cowboys fans, you want to be mad at me for telling you the truth? Okay, enjoy your Tristan Hill over Juan Thornhill pick and tell me how that went for you anyway. All right, the Chargers, Rashawn Slater. Now, this is what we're talking about here. Number 6 player, you need a franchise left tackle, and because the Cowboys and the Panthers and others were like, whatever, we'll wait on one, you got him at 13. Well done, LA. So I like that one quite a bit there by the Chargers. I almost gave that one an A+, but I can't give out all A's here in the end. Now, Mac Jones, the Patriots, and you could argue a C here. I got a 2nd-round grade on Mac Jones, but pick 15 is much more in line with where he should go as opposed to number 3 overall. So Bill Belichick gets his guy, a new franchise quarterback. I think he'll have success in the NFL. I think he'll have a Jimmy Garoppolo-type career, maybe even a Kirk Cousins-type career. You get that guy at 15, I don't mind that one at all. Now, Zaven Collins, when we look back in 4 or 5 years, of all the guys that I'm most concerned about going like, haha, you idiot, Tom, you gave them a C-, it's Zaven Collins. Because the upside is obvious. people at his size do not move the way that he does. Now, he did balloon to 270 at the medical checks in Indy. Is he going to be an edge for them? He's a tweener for me. At his size, almost 6'5", he should be much better at taking on blockers and being able to be an edge setter and a run filler in gaps. And he wasn't that when I watched him at Tulsa. That is an issue for me. But he can do a bunch of different things. He can blitz. When he's filling gaps correctly, he stops the run pretty well, and he can cover a little bit on top of that. So high risk, high reward player here. He goes 16 to Arizona, but I can't sugarcoat it too much there. I'm just going to give it a C-. So what do you think was the worst round 1 pick? Get your votes in for me right now. It's okay to be a hater. I know how fandoms are. They always assume, even though if I told you, hey, you're going to take this player, you'd be like, no, I hate that. Once the pick gets made, well, all of a sudden it feels great, doesn't it? So get your votes in. The worst round 1 selection. Was it the Raiders? Well, they went weird again, taking Alex Leatherwood to be their new right tackle at pick number 17. I do like Leatherwood. I had better players on the board, though. Not a colossal reach. This is better than taking Cleveland Ferrell. This is better than taking Damon Arnett. But, oh boy, man, you had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. You had Tevin Jenkins, who are still there. Maybe there's something off the field, in which case, okay, different conversation. Leatherwood's a fine pick. It's nothing special. He will be a good football player. But I thought the Raiders could have gotten someone just a little bit better. Jamin Davis to the Washington football team. I'll give it a B-. Now, maybe you guys hadn't heard of him. He was a surprise round 1 pick for us here, though, at Chat Sports. He goes to Washington at number 19 overall, where they find a way to find a dynamic, potentially rangy, still needs work in coverage, off-ball linebacker, the type of player that Ron Rivera's had success with in the past. Kadarius Toney, and I went back and forth on this one here, trading down and getting a future first, and Dave Gettleman throwing up the double birds to everyone who said he would never do it. I give him credit for that one. I think Toney's at 20 is a bit of a reach, though. There is some off-the-field stuff that has to be vetted. Clearly, the Giants feel okay with it there. Here's my biggest point. This is not the guy for Jason Garrett. You might have to scheme for touches early for Kadarius Toney, which is fine. That's not exactly Jason Garrett's M.O. So I worry a little bit about Toney struggling early. Better OC might end up being okay. Kwity Paye, the pick at number 21 by the Indianapolis Colts. High upside player. The Colts have missed on these guys in the past. Kimoko Toure, Ben Banigou. I think he fits, though, with what Matt Eberflus wants to do on defense. Some inside-outside flex. They needed more pass rush help. And with the way the tackle board has fallen so far, they might get one, a starting caliber one, in round 2. Speaking of round 2, we will be live for it, and round 3 and all of day 3 as well. If you want every single pick broken down, none of that, we're going to do interviews on day 3, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. Hit that big red button at youtube.com/chatsportstv. youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, the Titans are up here. And this is a tough one for me. I love the upside of Caleb Farley. I'm going to give it a B+. And on the flip side, this might look dumb if his back is not healthy. But before his back surgery, his second one in his young life, I had Caleb Farley as my number 1 corner. He was my number 1 defensive player. He was that good. I love Caleb Farley. I absolutely love him. The back is a major, major red flag. If he's healthy, he's going to be a star. If he's not, it's going to end up being a bust. All right, the Vikings, back-to-back years. I love it. Christian